Okay, I had to figure out what that was. It was another window plant. I'm like, what is this? This way. But yo. Yo, what's the word? What's going on? How's everybody feeling today? Hopefully everybody's good out there. Got the music issue resolved. Feeling pretty good. Came on an hour early, which some people should be happy about. Some people say I come on a bit late. So now I'm on a bit earlier, you know what I mean? Especially with the Bulls and Ape space coming up, man. We got a lot of good alpha that I think is potentially going to get dropped. So it's looking pretty good for the future of the Bulls and Apes project. I'm curious what they're going to drop today. Hopefully it's something about the multiplier effect, what gets multiplied, stuff like that. And as you know, we'll go through the usual, like we'll hit the market, talk about smaller market caps, kind of see what's going on. No real news as of right this second, but we can look into multiple different things to kind of see what's going on currently at this current state of the market. Seems like we're constantly getting rejected at this 1340 point as far as for Ethereum. So we'll see how that does go from here. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see. Alright, send that message out. Sorry, I had a couple messages that I was addressing before I hopped on, and I wanted to make sure that I addressed everybody, as I do get sidetracked a little bit, and that's definitely not what I'm trying to do today. So all right, so let's see what we got in the building. It's earlier on a time frame that I normally don't come on, so I don't expect the biggest crowd at first. I think it will build as we kind of gradually grow, which is okay. What's going on, damn it, Emmy? What's up? How you feeling today? Grind time in the building. That's what Lori said. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I think there's a couple other people in the building, like just kind of lurking and dirtling along there, if you will. But you guys are welcome also. What's the word? What's going on? In a couple seconds, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the live screen. We'll go through some things in the market and kind of see what's going on right this second. Like I said, as we been kind of I guess you could say consolidating to a certain extent. I mean, this can mean a multitude of things. We're building a pretty strong resistance level above the area we're currently trading at. So it could end up being a situation to where, you know what I mean, we could transition forward a little bit, man, which would not be the worst thing in the world. But it also could lead to a downtrend depending on how long this consolidation continues, and if we keep getting rejected around the same ranges. Sorry, I was picking my random ass background the other day. Give me 2 seconds. What's going on, DNA? What's the word? What's the word, man? How you feeling today? Okay, let's go with the original. Let's go with the original. All right, give me 2 seconds. I actually forgot my drink. Give me 2 seconds. Let me go grab my drink. I'll pop on camera and we'll get straight to it. All right, let's get to it. Transition on. Yeah, what's going on, DNA? What's the word, man? How you feeling today, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me see. So, something that I have been wondering regarding all these tokenized projects and the BAP effect. With cyber hacks at its peak, it's easy to target particular websites, especially those that are popular. I understand that they have safe claim in place, but what other safety protocol do they have in regards to just connecting your wallet to their site? So as of right this second, the safe claim was actually recently installed, as far as for like people who, because what we started to get into is we originally, everybody who was original holders of the Bulls and Apes project, if you were playing this gamification of the Bulls and Apes, you were kind of playing into this scenario where you had to go to the website. There was no way around it. You had to connect your wallet. There was no safe claim at first. So there's a lot of people who've had some different assets and probably just moved their Bulls and Apes assets to one wallet to kind of avoid if anything does happen connecting to their website. But they have a entire technical team, and they're pretty good security wise, and just paying attention to their servers, making upgrades to the security and the level of production that their website actually puts out. So me personally, they have released that they have multiple different security levels. They have never had their website compromised within the 7, almost 8 months that they actually been running the website. And they added an additional security feature, as you mentioned, the safe claim, so people can actually feel a little bit more of a sense of relief as far as connecting their wallet to their website and being able to you know what I mean, just kind of vibe and not really worry about it too much. So even with the safe claim, if it was to get compromised per se, like the server gets compromised, it would be the safe claim wallet, which is like a remote, you know what I mean? So it wouldn't be your physical wallet, which is a good thing. For those who actually have the wallet on there, I guess that would be a bit difficult, but I don't see it being an issue going forward, as they've had no issues of security at all, period, kind of going throughout this, and they're constantly trying to up their security measures. So I think they definitely have enough security protocols in place to where they have substantially maintained a safe environment to what they're doing currently. Even with the trading quarter that they got in their Discord, their mods heavily monitor it, which they have an entire team, I think, of like 40 plus people that actually monitor the website, also the servers, and kind of pay attention to what's going on as far as the workload that's going on with the website. So that's my spill on that one. That's why I kind of feel safe with actually adding my wallet to the website, because there's a lot of websites that I would not do. But this one I'm good with. Sorry, I got a message. Give me 2 brief seconds. I'm sorry about that. I ended up getting a pretty important phone call. I'm gonna take a quick break. It should be over by the end of this break. I'm sorry about that, and then we'll pop back in. Sorry about the unorganizedness of it. It's actually regarding regarding the baby. So give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, and I almost timed it perfect. All right, all right, all right. Okay, appreciate that. I have all my BAP assets in a single wallet from my other assets. That was just something that came to mind when they sent that tweet out today. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Security wise, I don't get half-ass vibes from them. You know what I mean? Like, you worry about like security from things from like people that you feel like would do like a half-ass job or just wouldn't complete what they need to complete to make sure everything's secure. Bulls and Ace project, I think the last thing they want is anything security wise, because that will, anything security wise, somebody getting their wallet compromised, their server getting compromised, and multiple people losing their assets. That's how you lose a lot of the momentum that you have generated right this second, which they're strategic, and I'm pretty sure they know about that. So I feel like security is probably one of the top priorities that they have, and making sure that they have all of their holders safe as they're tokenizing communities like Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, Killer Bears, and a lot of other projects that are really kind of prestigious in this space, to where, you know what I'm saying, you have a lot of different NFT projects to where they cost a sizable amount of money. We're talking about like 5 ETH and above for just one of these NFTs, and just think about getting a wallet compromised of multiples of those things. You know what I mean? That becomes expensive out of nowhere. So I'm pretty sure they don't want those type of issues, and they still want to remain credible within the space, and they want to keep building off of what they've been building on. So I see them doing above and beyond for security measures, but I really feel like that is a super good question. So if I can get up, I'll try to within the space, I'll try to get up within the space and then ask for a fully clarified version of exactly what protocols they're using, what their version of security kind of looks like for their website and going forward, since they just recently added that safe claim to it. So that should give you a bit of a peace of mind. I'll see if I can get up and ask some questions like that if they have like a Q&A at the end of it, which is, it's going to be a lot of different alpha that gets thrown out today, possibly about the apes. You know, they're going to go over the beginning and kind of give you guys a rundown of exactly what's going on with the bulls and apes ecosystem and stuff like that. So should be pretty good. What's going on, Arthur? What's up, man? What's the word? How you feeling today, man? What's new? What's the word? And tell me what's new with it, man. Well, all right, let me refresh and let's check out the market real quick. So we were looking at. Keep in mind, I told you guys we got a substantial resistance level at about 1340. As you can see, we're just below that, so we keep getting rejected, but it keeps trying to go back up and retest that zone. So we'll see how that does end up panning out. Yeah, I absolutely totally agree. They are top notch. I definitely feel safer with them than most. Yeah, just curious, not saying I didn't feel safe, just curiosity. No, please ask all of those questions. You should feel as comfortable as possible with your investment, especially with an ecosystem like this, where I can see myself spending thousands of dollars to advance myself within this ecosystem, because I know what this ecosystem brings to the table. With me putting large sums of money within one spot, not putting my eggs all in one basket, of course, but you know what I mean? Just adding and constantly adding to this same ecosystem so that it makes sense to me to keep continually going forward to make some type of revenue in this. So I definitely need to feel confident in whatever investment that I got going on. So it's, I completely get it. So that's something that I would want to know also, especially being new to this, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of different variables within this space. There's not too many good people that come in and try to actually do things. Most people just see, hey, shit, man, I can run a project. This project will generate me thousands of, not hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, and from there I can change my life, rather than what you can actually change within this space itself. So I get the sentiments, and I want everybody to ask as many questions as they can. That's also why I come on an hour early on this stream. We chop it up, we talk about the market, we talk about relevant things as far as NFTs or the actual Bulls and Apes project, and then from there we get into the in about 25 minutes we're going to get into the Tankonomics or Tokenomics Tuesday, where they will be introducing the tokenized community that they just recently added, which is the Tater Town, which is pretty cool. They got some cool things going on as far as their NFT collection and the giving back to the mission in Guatemala. So we'll listen into that. Then plus the information that they're going to release about the apes. Hopefully they release some information about the multiplier effect, exactly how the loot boxes are going to work. Maybe we'll get some prices on the loot boxes to kind of to correlate what we're going to be doing. But the biggest thing for me is going to be like the multiplier factor in how many apes to bulls do you multiply. Can you put multiple in there? Is it only for one? Do you need a 1-to-1 ratio? Does it only multiply the bulls and apes assets? Bulls and apes and then bulls on the block assets is probably what I'm thinking to myself. Great, brother, great. Okay, yep. What's the max meth bulls on the block OGs receive? All right, so when you level up your bulls on the block OG, you're going to receive at the very top max level, you're going to receive 4 meth. That's only if you don't have any of the matches. So bulls on the block OGs have 2 other matches within the Evos and the bears on the block. So if you match those token IDs, let's just say you have token ID 111 for bulls on the block OGs, you go get the Evo 111 and the bear 111. That will make you make 1 meth additional per NFT you have. So instead of you making 4 meth per day on your bulls on the block OG, it will be 5 meth per day on your bulls on the block OG, and then 5 meth per day on your Evo, and then 5 meth per day on your bear. You know what I mean? So that means that's, instead of you making 4 meth per day with the NFT, or if you had 3 different NFTs to where you'd only make 4 meth a day, you make 12, you make 15 meth per day, which that adds up. I found out that additional 3 meth does add up per 30-day period, because it's a decent amount. So it definitely helps. So if you can find all three token IDs, which I have a couple of them, I lucked up and somebody was selling a bear and then they were selling an OG, and it just so happened the OG did not, they never evoed the OG. So I have a couple of those. I think I maybe got like 6 to 10 of those, you know what I mean? So once they open the contract, I'll have 6 to 10 additional NFTs that I can actually pick up and you know what I mean, also make meth off of those. Plus it'll switch over to a full set, which I'm sure they're gonna do something with the full sets, kind of promoting people to want to build those full sets rather than just kind of buying the NFTs off the floor, which they have a relatively cheaper floor right this second. So they're probably the max amount of meth that you can get for a lower price if you pay attention to the price point. Then if you dig deep enough to look and see if they had an Evo or a bear, and you're able to look up to get one that had no Evo or no bear, then you just pay like 0.1 for an asset that kind of makes you 0.3 if you pay attention to it, because you get 2 additional free NFTs, and if you want to, you can sell them or you can utilize them for the additional 10 meth that it came with. So you basically pay for 4 meth. At the end of the day, once the contract opens, you'll be making 15 meth from that one purchase. Or if you go and get a Bulls in a Block OG and it has not been Evo, then that's just a situation to where you pay for 4 meth and then you're going to be receiving 8 meth, because once the contract opens, you will be able to, you know what I mean, utilize the free NFT that you get to mint. So that's some pretty cool things to me. I think that's a pretty decent way to do things. All right, so I don't know what to do it or not. Let me refresh, make sure that I got this accurate. So right now, currently we are sitting at 17,430 bucks for Bitcoin. It says, which you know, it resets a little bit before I actually come on for UTC time, but right now it says 1.4% up on a 24-hour period, which you know that switched over. 7-day period is about 4.5%, so a little bit of progress on Bitcoin, more on Ethereum, almost 10%. Then let me see what we're looking at. We got Ethereum at 1334, well 1335 pretty much, is like a penny away from that, up 1% on the day. But if you look on the week, it's up almost about 10%. BNB is up almost 12% on the week, 0.6 right this second for a 24-hour period, and $276 in total. So let me see, Dogecoin still about 7.6. Matic has been kind of up and down, but 10% up on the week. Solana is not doing too bad, 20% gains on the week. Shiba is looking at about 12%. So, and we're still pretty early on the week. It's only Tuesday, so I'm kind of looking at that from that perspective also, that we're still super duper early as far as that. ApeCoin went up almost about $1 or so. So Crow still at about 6, but it's about 6.5 cents almost. All right, so we got Bitcoin right here. So from, what is day chart? Hopefully you guys can see. I want to overstretch it and it doesn't look the same. So we got 2 different things that I'm looking at right here on Bitcoin. Hopefully you guys can, you kind of barely can. Let me see. A little bit better, but if you look, If I even turn my lines on, I haven't had them on all day, to be honest with you. I haven't been looking at Bitcoin. I've been looking at Ethereum, but it literally falls right on my my support and or resistance line. So it looks like we went up, broke this level, came back down to retest, went up, broke this level, came back down to retest, and it looks like we may be doing the same thing unless it breaks past this plane and just keeps coming down. But it looks like we went up and above this, closed, transferred over, and it looks like we're trying to maintain this level as a support level to continue our upward motion, which will be interesting to see because the next level we're going to reach is around this range, and then after that we have a little area to run, and I really feel like the peak of that run could possibly be about like 19k if it makes it past these other resistance levels. There's no guarantee with that at all, period, though. And it's just interesting to see kind of the next levels we'll be dealing with as far as resistance and support, as we had a significant sell-off around this range. So it's little bit of room to kind of to run and you know what I mean, just make some progress. Let's check in on the week chart really quick. All right, on a week time frame, about the same. He's come back down, more or less retest, which is looks like it's trying to do as it trades sideways around this range and try to use it as support. Then this is probably our next ledge that we're going to be reaching. I don't know if it could possibly go above. I mean, I don't really see it. It have to have a significant amount of volume coming through for that to actually be a thing. What's going on, Justin Grover 04? What's the word, my brother? How you feeling today? How you feeling? Hambone, what's up? What's up? How you feeling today? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Let me see. Copy. That was the first. Right there, bam. What's going on, Hambone? Yo, what's the word? Yo. Man, trying to get back on normal schedule. Yeah, man, you were ripping and running like shit down there like I do on a regular basis, bro. Like I know you gotta train your body not to do that after a certain point, man. I'm always on grind mode. I don't think I have an availability to kind of turn the grind mode off of me, you know. Might as well change my name to Grind Time too. That's gonna take a bit after a wild ride. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that Grove Coin deployment, man, that was a lot of different things going on, man. You already know people are gonna have questions, concerns, thoughts, opinions, and that's just the name of the game. Just the name of the game. But guys, we do have that Twitter space coming up in about 14 minutes. So in a minute, we're going to take a short break. Let me go ahead and look through Ethereum first, and then we'll come back. We'll look at some smaller market caps going into looking at the bulls and ape space, talking about the alpha that they got going on. You guys are the reason that I come on early is to still be able to go through the market, check some things out, let you guys know what's going on with the market. Then after that, the bulls and ape space, most people don't want to go up and ask questions, which is fine. We can listen to it together. You can type your question in the chat and actually get me to answer your question, which is cool. If you don't understand something while he's explaining it, I have no issues actually explaining it in real time while we're actually going over it, so you don't have to forget your question, or you don't have to go on stage and kind of be like the center of attention during that period of time. So that's some things you can actually do. So let's go ahead and take this short break, and then I'll be right back, guys. Yes, sir. All right. Damn, I forgot all this. Damn, my screen all sparkly. But I guess that is the screen. I had to look at this. I had to look at the background. Let me see. Grant, what's good, Hambone? What up, Hambone? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What we got going on? That was low reset in the building. What's going on? Damn, Cuff. This trying to find a 3 pieces. Yeah, it's hard, bro. It's hard. Look, I was dropping in the Discord. I was dropping 2-for-1s in the Discord. So the good thing about those 2-for-1s is 9 times out of 10, if you get a 2-for-1, somebody just sold one and they haven't evoed. That means that it might be a little bit easier to find a bear or to just make an offer on the bear, because a lot of these people are not really putting them up for sale. But if you make an offer that's too good to refuse, they'll sell the bear also. So yeah, then some people are like Marcus is doing. He's creating sets for people. You know what I mean? Like he'll grab them for, like, I think at this point probably like 0.1, and he might have a you know what I mean, a set of them. He'll unvault like the OG, then he'll you know what I mean, put all of them up for like 0.1. So you probably spend about 0.3 for an entire set in total, maybe a little bit more if it's listed right now currently. But it just depends, you know what I mean. It just depends on like what time of day. Some people just are tired of waiting, you know what I mean, and they don't want to wait for the 120-day plan. The project at one point was at like above 1 ETH, I think. So there are some people that are just selling because they don't understand the concept behind the methane token and what they're actually doing, which I think they're going to do more than just have them create methane token, but they have multiple different avenues that they're going down right this second. But yeah, that 3 piece is a bit rough, but worth it. Rough but worth it. I think in total, I full sets I may have like 3 or 4, and then the rest of them is just me buying like 2-for-1s because I can't locate the bear. But to be honest, I may after a while those bears do get listed, and then you got people that own the bear that you got. Let's just say hypothetically, you know what I mean, as long as you have a bear to trade, I don't really see that not being an equal value, you know what I mean. Or if you got something that they need, you know what I mean, you see a wallet, let's just say a wallet has the bear you need, then the wallet that has the bear you need, they have Evo or OG on the floor that they can utilize because it's an other half of them, you know what I mean. That's a bartering chip right there. Or you just got some good people that will trade bear for bear, and then or Evo for Evo, and kind of go from there. Yeah, I can find an OG and an Evo. It's the bear. Yeah. So yeah, man. So what the bear is not listed. If the bear is not listed, it's hard. Sometimes you got to put an offer in. If the bear is just not available at all, period, that means that you lucked out and you found one that you're going to be able to mint the bear if you don't find that number. So it's some variables to it in 2 ways that things can really go. So I'm like I said, I'm on the fence right now if I should try to get some more sets, because it is, I'm not gonna lie, that's time consuming just because this collection was already established. It's not like we're minting and kind of trading into it. Some people are kind of set like, man, I'm gonna just wait until the price goes up, you know what I mean? So all right, so then we got this right here. Do I got any markings around this range? A bunch of them. What are weeks? I feel like I did good. That was like the first call for the night. All right, so this is what we're looking at currently. Can I spin my channel a little bit? So we're looking at currently a bit of a run up on the day chart. You can kind of see it's it was stair stepping a little bit. Then it looks like, I don't know if we reached a peak right here, but this is a significant level of resistance that we passed through. What was that? Well, not yesterday, it was today technically, because it just transferred over. So within yesterday, it got rejected around that range and came back down. Today we went above this range, and now the goal is to maintain this range. I feel like even if it retraces a little bit, that's not horrible. If it retraces and give me confirmation that it's going to use this as a support level, and we still have some range to go up, we're looking at cracking into like 1500, maybe even 1600, depending on the momentum and the volume that we have right now currently. So it's trying to break out of, let's say, really around this range at about 1340 or so. If it breaks out of like 1340, 1342, 1343 range, we should be pretty decent. No doubt. I appreciate you just debating if I should focus on that or the teens. So what I would say with this is, you could, I mean, unless you're gonna get like a meth machine or something like that, or you know what I mean, you don't mind, well, you're gonna have to claim anyway if you get like the assets like from the bulls on the block also. So me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I would probably say bulls on the block. Why? Because they're cheaper. I think, what are the teams at right now? They're like 0.15. I don't have any bulls in it, so floor is going up for the OGs too. Now that I'm looking at it, we got a 0.82 floor for the OGs, which is how much right now? We're back above $1,000 for any NFTs, and we actually gave away an OG bull too, man. So we gave away $1,000 technically, right? Right? That's how that works, right? Let me see. Let's look at the teens price right now and kind of do some calculations. I figured it was like 0.15, 0.16, but this is gonna rise. They're almost minted out. All right, so you're looking at 0.15, which is about 200 bucks. So 0.15, almost 0.16. So if you're looking at that range, and then about $200, right. So let's just say you get one of these and it doesn't have an evo, so you're getting two of them. So versus you getting, you're getting 4 methane, which both of them get 4 methane if you just level them up. So that's the cool thing about it. This is essentially the same methane creation as a team bull, but we look at the price point. The price point is 93 bucks right now. Not saying that this one does not have evo. You want to make sure that it does not have an evo to get that 2-for-1 special. Worst scenario, you're paying 0.07 to make the same exact meth that a team bull would, which is half the price essentially, right? So whereas you could buy 2 teen bulls, you could buy 2 of these and be making 8 meth versus that 4 meth that you would be making. So that's one. Then I'm gonna say 9 times out of 10, if you want one, you're probably gonna, which actually has a evo to it. Well, probably doesn't have an evo to it. I would have to search through them to see which one doesn't per se. But I would have to say that 0.1 and above is probably where you're gonna find the ones that don't have evos. Then once you actually click on that one, you should be able to you know what I mean, see that you're going to be making 8 meth for 0.1, which is still less than a teen and double the meth that you will be making with a teen. So you pay 0.1, you pay less than what the teen is, and you get 2 NFTs making 8 meth versus the 1 NFT making 4 meth. Or if you got a meth machine, you could be making 5 meth per day too, but it just depends on the method in which you're going about it. But that's a different thing to do, you know what I mean? Like, you can double up if you're willing to spend 0.15, I mean, and you already got a team bull, some different assets in the bulls in the ecosystem, which I feel like that's a big thing to have also. But if you're just looking for methane creation, then I will probably go bulls on a block right this second, as they are pretty damn cheap. And you don't even have to go bulls on a block. We may be cheaper on the evos and or the bears, so we can check those prices too. 0.75, what was it? I should have looked. So we got, All right, so the Bulls on the block, the OGs are less than the Evos, which is crazy to me for some odd reason. But so we get what 0.75, so 0.05 more for that. Bears are what price? Oh, they're not gonna let me see the Bears. They don't like me today. Did I click on Evos? And the Bears are just underneath that, so you can get it a little bit cheaper. Just a little bit cheaper. But like I said, you can buy two of these, and they don't look horrible. Don't look horrible at all. It's 2D art. Buy two of these for the price that you were going to spend for that team bull, and make 8 meth, because these make 8 meth. 4 meth a piece also. So just throwing it out there. 93 buckaroonies. You got a couple different options to where if you want to kind of get into the project, make a significant amount of meth, and kind of see what's going on, what we got going on. You get options, but we have reached that time period to where we are going to go into the actual Twitter space. You guys already know they're probably playing that song that we all know so well, the Bulls and Apes theme song. Let me get it pulled up, and then I'll get us inside of the space. If you guys have any questions during the space, let me know. We'll address them and go from there. Bang. And if you noticed, I pay attention to the alpha of what's going on. So Bulls on the block is usually not in the space for the NFTs. Well, for the Takeonomics Tuesday, but right now Bulls on the block is inside of the space for the Takeonomics Tuesday. So maybe we're gonna get some alpha on the Bulls on the block. That's what I'm kind of feeling today. Just throwing it out there. Let me know. We'll see if I'm wrong or right.
It is Tuesday, which means it's Takeonomics Tuesday. I'm Mark Crypto with the Bulls and Apes, and I'm so excited because here we are. It is that time. We are joined by the man, the master, the most amazing calculator strategery mastermind, Tank. He's going to walk us through all the tokenomics. What's up,
How
Tank?
do I? You do that every week, and I'm sitting here blushing at my desk, thinking, "Oh my God, how do I jump up and do this?" Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so freak. Holy crap for crypto! What have we gotten ourselves into, huh?
I
Oh
know
yeah.
this is going to be quite the show tonight. We're so excited. Man, we've got some really good news. I'm just
Let
gonna
me know if you
be
guys got any
real
questions.
quick.
I'm here.
2 seconds. I'm pinning our space that we're in right now. It's getting pinned into the top of the nest. So if you look above our floating heads here, there's an area that is the nest. That if you're not familiar with it, that's where we're going to pin the most important information for you. And right now, that is the space that we are all in here right now, hanging out together, because we need to tell people that we're here. We got great information. I know everyone's excited. We minted out, or no, wow, we did. We minted out a lot more than we thought we were going to mint out.
I
Yeah.
know, huh?
So we had the amazing ape pre-mint last week. There's a lot of questions, and a lot of it has to do with ape tokenomics. So, of course, you're in the right spot. So, there's been a lot of people wanting to know. We had over 400 people set their reminder for tonight. So, we want them to know it's live. And I know if you're like me, I set reminders and then I need to actually set an alarm because I'll miss it. And I'm like, oh, crap, I totally forgot. So, go ahead, hit the tweet up there in the nest. It is the tweet directly to this space that we're in. You can let people know we're here. Retweet it, tag your friends, let them know to come join the party because we've got some fun news. We're hanging out. We've got Tater Town hanging out with us tonight. We've got some community tokenization to talk about. The ape pre-mint that we go back through. We've got the apes tokenization we're going to talk about. And the other part is, well, that was a pre-mint, so the official mint for the apes is coming. It's February 7th. We told you we'd have some information for you today, and let me say, we've got allow list details. So listen, people have got to get in here right now. Did you
So
retweet the
much
room?
stuff. Oh, I retweeted the room. I did that while you were talking. I got my retweet in. The responses have been amazing just to our reminder and for the space tonight. So I'm excited to get everybody in here. But I'll tell you what, I want to disclose something because I think this is funny. And we did this earlier today. We talked about this on our managers meeting this morning. So if for those of you in the room that don't know, well, first off, I'd like to say this. So I did some calculations this morning, went back and looked to see when the first day was that we did Tokenomics Tuesday. And this was before we did the Bull Mint, right? And we started it a few weeks before the Bull Mint. I remember that. And I remember that we had a delay. And so that pushed out our Bull Mint a little bit. So we had a chance to really dive into the tokenomics, which was really cool because we just started it a few weeks before what our original mint was supposed to be. But I went back and looked at it today is our 40th episode. I can't believe that. 40, this is 40th episode straight every Tuesday. I've only missed two. Yeah, so cool. Marcus came in and covered my back for two of those episodes because I was on vacation for one. But yeah, 40th episode. I'm excited. I can't wait till 52, but I think today is probably going to be one of the most groundbreaking episodes because we finally get to dig into the apes. I've been talking about it for over 7 months because we always knew we'd get here. I've been bubbling up. Last week we got to talk about a little bit of it, which was the mechanics. But tonight we're going to break off another piece and dive in. There is so much here, you guys, and this is what I wanted to say was kind of funny. We've got so much to talk about that we're going to do this over the next couple of weeks as we build up to our 8 mint out. But I usually do these spaces off the cuff. Her crypto does her thing, and I know what I want to say. We've been doing this for 40 episodes. So much stuff tonight that I spent an hour putting together an outline so I didn't miss anything. That's how much information we have to get out tonight. And I'm so excited for it because we're going to dive in. We're going to be talking about things that you guys have all been asking about. We're going to talk about, like Her Crypto said, the allow list. We're going to, of course, go back over the ape dynamic and its PFP. We're going to talk about tokenized community. We got Taters in the room tonight, so I'm super excited for that. And then we're going to dive into some tokenomics. And I know that you guys have been wanting that with how the tokenomics is going to work. So we're going to take a little bit of a dive, dip our toe in, and start working through that. But make sure you're setting those reminders as we start having these spaces because we're going to get deeper and deeper and deeper in the tokenomics every week that we go because it's so much. I want to make sure that we're fleshing this out and getting everybody acclimated to how dynamic our apes are going to be. And you're going to hear me say that a lot through spaces now from here and into our mint. And then when we do reveal and then into the gamification, dynamic is going to be the key word. Everything that we're doing with the apes is dynamic. I know you guys know the dynamic PFP itself. We've already talked about that. But when we start diving into this, you're going to really understand how dynamic this is, how fun it's going to be, how much gamification there is. But not only that, our holders are going to have some control over how that dynamic how dynamic it is and how that's going to work with everything with our PFP itself, with our gamification tokenomics and all that. So holy cow, there's so much to talk about. I cannot believe it.
Well, let's get into it then. Why don't we? The sooner we start, the sooner we get to the information. I love Taters over there cracking on. That's right. I'm the comic relief here. But yeah, welcome everyone. We're super excited. Let's get started. So, yes, I'm so proud, you guys. Tank did put together a format here. We've got a little schedule to follow. Usually that's my thing. But now we've got it. We're all going to be able to do this. And like you said, it's going to be that way. We are able to provide you guys the best information. We're going to roll things out. We're going to have things planned out over the next few weeks as we lead up to the apes. And so today we are starting with, we're going to kick things off with the tokenized communities with Tatertown here on stage. We want to definitely honor our guests and not, totally squander all of their time. So welcome, Tatertowns. How are you?
Hey guys, how's it going? Good to be here.
It's going well, man. We got a lot of stuff to do. I see the room is pumping. I mean, geez, we may hit 300 tonight the rate we're going. I'm so excited for that. But tokenized communities, I'm excited about tokenized communities, and I know that we have been talking a lot about the apes. It has been the talk of the BAP town over the last 2 weeks with our pre-mint. But tokenized communities is still super important to our strategy and where we're going with the project and Weird World. We're going to get back on the Weird Worlds train here over the next few weeks and start talking about that again. But tokenized communities is super important to our strategy and bringing this entire space together. We've talked about that, right? We've all lived in our silos, especially in the bear market. Things have happened. Projects have withdrawn into their own little ecosystems to try to figure out how to provide value to their own communities. How they can re-strategize. We looked at this a little different. We thought it was an opportunity for us to actually reach out to communities and say, you know what, we're all struggling a little bit in this bear market. some more than others, and we understand that. Let's pull our resources together. Let's do something really cool, and then that's where community tokenization came from. So by doing that, what we're doing is we're enabling projects like the Taters to come in and utilize the assets they love and earn methane token from our ecosystem. Methane token is the lifeblood of our ecosystem. It is what drives our ecosystem and provides all the tokenization through minting of the teens and the gods, and now coming into the apes and what it's going to do, and then eventually into weird worlds and being able to mint that weird world and its use case then within weird worlds. So methane is super important. It always has been. And I'm so stoked that we're able to bring communities together and say, hey, you know what? Let's share in this and let's build a big Web3 community, which is what Web3 is all about, and do it together. I'm super stoked. So thanks for coming up, man. I don't know if you guys noticed, I saw it posted in your Discord. You want to say it? Go for it.
What part?
What part? You
Take's
guys
trying to
are
drop alpha from other people's discords and communities. This is so great. I love it. Let's go.
yeah, let's go. Taters are live right now, right? I mean, you guys can go in and harvest.
Yes, we are live. And guys, I just want to say what you guys have done with Tankonomics and what you guys have been building, over this amount of time is really incredible. Um, we've been in the space a long time, and I think this is probably, I can honestly say, this is probably the one space where it's not necessarily a mega space, where you have hundreds and hundreds of people coming together, you know, obviously around what you guys are doing, but it's celebrating all communities. And I think that's a massive and accomplishment, really, in this space. And I think that I just want to kind of recognize that first, because doing that is an amazing accomplishment, to bring it around where it's not a mega space, where it's about you guys bringing value to lots of, I mean, tons of projects. And it's bringing value to obviously your ecosystem, but it's bringing value to all of our projects. It's incredible. So huge shout out to you guys and what you're doing. It really is amazing. And yes, I believe we're live. I just went into Discord right now and I saw that somebody said, yeah, I just harvest my methane tokens, so I will definitely be on that.
I think it's hilarious because in the background you have our lead dev, the guy that runs everything in the background related to development and all this stuff with tokenization. So we're messaging him before the show, and he gives us the go that it's live. And literally, I think within 2 minutes of it going live, I saw in your Discord, boom, somebody was on it announcing. And that just shows that communities are watching, right? People are watching what's going on in this ecosystem. And I think that's important because if we're bringing eyes, not just to us, but to you guys as well, right? This is about raising this entire space. We talk about this all the time about, a rising tide lifts all ships. Here at the Bulls and Apes Project, we truly believe that. Anthony and I talk about that. Her crypto talks about that all the time when we're in spaces, when we're on other people's spaces. That's what our goal is. And I love that before we could even get the announcement out, which is fine because we know that when it goes out, we want to see who's paying attention. And your community was on it, man. They were in there. I saw it pop up like, bam, there you go. They know what's up, and I'm so stoked. And I'll tell you, the amount of taters that have been showing up to spaces over the last couple weeks has been crazy. It's been fast. So I appreciate that, and that you guys have been really showing your enthusiasm, your participation, your engagement. We always talk about engagement being a key factor in how we choose communities, because we think that's big. We think that communities really drive this space, and the more engagement a community has, especially for a founder, like yourself, that's trying to build a project, the better, right? So anything we can do to help bring that and amplify that engagement, I think is a win-win for all of us. Helps us out, helps you guys out. Maybe it's bringing more eyes to both our projects through this tokenization. People are starting to pay attention. They're going into seeing what projects have been tokenized. If you guys go on to bullsandapesproject.com, along the top, you'll see a harvest dashboard. The harvest dashboard itself actually shows a leaderboard list of all the tokenized communities. And you can click on that harvest dashboard on the yesterday only harvest. We'll break down what was done 24 hours prior to today. And you can see who's leading the charge and how many projects we tokenized, and when the engagement. which I think is super cool. But I'm going to drop a little alpha here because I think this is crazy cool. And I got this from Yev today. So as of this morning, 1 million assets, 1 million assets. That's meaning individual NFTs have already harvested methane. That's reoccurring every day, but it's 1 million. We hit 1 million this morning. That is a freaking crazy number. Silence.
1
That's
million.
insane.
Isn't that crazy? 1 million. I can believe that when he said, I'm like, are you sure? I mean, I'm looking at that. And yeah, that's, of course, people are going in multiple times, but to say that 1 million individual assets have claimed their methane is insane. But that's what we want to do. We want to bring methane into the ecosystems of multiple communities, come in and use it in our project, use it how they want to use it. We've seen really creative communities doing things with methane offered as giveaways. We talked about this in the past that communities that have their NFTs and treasury wallets, they qualify for this methane bonus as well, being able to go in and harvest it. And we see some really cool stuff being used. So I'm really excited for this. And I'm so stoked that you guys are tokenized. Welcome aboard, Taters, man. Awesome.
I know. Welcome
Thank you
aboard,
so
you guys. I was going to say it's not even just the taters that are showing up to all of our spaces. It's all the tags. It's all the retweets. I mean, they're all over. I mean, I feel like I'm actually eating more potato products just because of the amount of taters I've been seeing on my Twitter feed.
Yeah, and a cool fact, when we started the Taters, because we definitely had a long mint. I think with our other projects, we've had a lot. It's been a lot quicker, and I can honestly say, obviously the community kept strong. And I just want to shout out some members, John B, and others who I know are in the Bulls and Apes community and very big members. But there were some amazing people in our community with John B and Palm and different people that, I mean, we really stuck together as a community, and we minted out at the end of last year. And with this whole the excitement around methane, and and all of these communities coming together, it really brought something like amazing. And it really, I mean, it gave the community a real boost. And so I think that's incredible, because I remember our first AMA was actually with You Her Crypto. And it really was about like the social side, and it's been amazing. Honestly, the last few weeks have been absolutely incredible. The community engagement has been absolutely top notch. Again, I said it in a video today, but the community has been amazing. We have been rating everything, and it's been fun. It's not like here's my daily chore. I mean, it's been so fun to do it, and it's kind of like paved the way for how we're gonna really go ahead about everything this year. We just brought in a young boy, a young lad. He's not a boy, he's 22 years old now, but he studied in our mission school out here. He's a new artist, and he's going to be working on us with our future drops. We've got mutators and tater tots and all sorts of awesome things that are coming down, in our ecosystem and what we're doing. So thank you guys. I really mean that. I think what you're doing out here is a lot more than just it's paving the way for how things are going to be done in this space. And I think that's incredible. And yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, no worries. I think it's cool that you said having fun again. It reminds me of when I first got in the space. I got in November of last year, October, November, and how all the discords you go in were having fun. They were pumping. Of course, everybody's excited when NFTs are up, right? A bull market, everybody's excited because they're looking at their bottom line, and that's what gets them excited. But I love the fact that we are in a bear market, making it fun again, but making it fun again for the right reasons. Not that a bull market's not the right reasons. That's great when you see your asset increasing in value. But we know this space, and this space is so volatile that we're going to ride a roller coaster for years to come. It's just the way it's going to work. So to be able to spread that joy out through a bull market and a bear market, and say, you know what, there is positive in bear markets if we do certain things, and we're paying attention to our projects, and we're working forward in positive ways. I think that helps a lot of communities. And I think it helps a lot of communities in a mental aspect too. Mental health is so important in this space, and being able to actually, like you said, be happy about doing something, having some fun when we know that it's a little bit of a depressed market right now is good. And I'm so stoked that we're getting that I mean, that wasn't always our purpose for what we're doing, but to be able to see that as one of the effects of what we're doing, I think is super cool. So thanks for being a part of it again. We do want to announce 4 other communities, Her Crypto. What are the other 4 communities that went live today?
That's right. We do have other communities we've tokenized. We do love Tater Towns, and we have announced you guys. We gave you the heads up for them being tokenized today. We put that out yesterday, but we're also tokenizing Fanta Bear, 8-Bit Me, Hash Mask, and the Doge Pound. That's right, everybody. So, you got any of these assets? You're able to go in and start harvesting your methane token right now. So, we're super excited.
And we have more to announce on Thursday, right?
That's right.
We're making announcements. So just because the apes are going, like I said at the beginning of the show, does not mean that we're still not um, doing tokenized communities. It's still it's still important to our roadmap, important to our strategy, important to our long-term goals. So we're going to be making more announcements on Thursday. Stay tuned. Make sure you're setting your reminders for that space. Come in and jump in. We're going to have a couple more founders that are going to jump on the stage with us. I'm excited to have founders come up. I think that's really important, even though it's technically not required to tokenize communities. You see with these other communities, to have founders come and be involved, I think is super positive for the space. So we've got 2 more amazing founders that'll be joining us on Thursday. So you guys please come hang out. That being said, I think we covered that business. We need to jump into some tokenomics. What do you say?
That's right. We are going to jump into some tokenomics. We're going to talk about the apes dynamic PFP. We are going to talk about the allow list tiers for the apes, and we're going to cover the details of the tokenomics with the apes. So if you haven't yet, make sure to retweet the room. It's pinned in the nest straight to the tweet that comes to this space. Retweet it. Let people know. We definitely wanted to take care of our tokenized communities we have tonight, and we are going to roll and keep this train going because we have so much off to drop, so much news to share, and we're excited about it. So, we're rolling into the basics of BAP tokenomics now. Yeah, let's set a little groundwork.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we.
What?
Oh no! I was gonna say, keep going.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, so if you guys have been hanging out with us, we did send a tweet out yesterday and a follow up one today. We do have a new space that's starting tomorrow, the Welcome Wednesday space. So with all the ape tokenomics coming, with us growing, as we've been joking about for weeks, I mean, tankonomics could become 3 hours long. And so we know, like, we just can't maintain that. We appreciate you guys coming and hang out with us, and we love partying with you and sharing this information and being here. But we definitely want to be respectful of everyone's time, and we want to make sure that you're able to absorb everything that we're giving you, especially with all the new apes tokenomics. So we're going to be shifting some things. We're going to cover some basics of BAP tokenomics, but not quite go into as many of the details as we have before. Those are going to be shifted to that Wednesday space. So that's going to be tomorrow at 12 p Central. We will get that pinned up here in the nest in a little bit, just so that way you guys can set reminders and join us for that. It's going to be a great space to point people to that are maybe new to the community, just joined, or curious about joining the community. Or just maybe if it's a little too late for you for tokenomics, sometimes we'll recap the like really big important things that we do announce tonight on that space tomorrow. So Tank, let's go through the basics.
Yeah, let's do the basics. But before we do the basics, I want to bring up something. We made a decision today, I think, because we're seeing so much enthusiasm about the space, and we have been hearing about, man, you guys do this so late. And I started doing it late. Like I said, we're at our 40th episode, and we started this back in April. And during that time, I was still in transition with my in real life business that I still currently own, but making sure that my staff and I was working up late hours. So I wanted to make sure I could dedicate a lot of time. Well, things have changed over the last 8 months. And so we're going to move Tokenomics Tuesday up by an hour. I know that a lot of people have said, man, it's just kind of a little late. So pay attention. I know that everybody's programmed in the brain that it's 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, but we are going to move it up an hour. We'll make sure we get plenty of announcements out. But we want to be respectful, like Her Crypto said, of everybody's time. And I know a lot of people are hanging, trying to stay up. I don't know if Anthony's in the audience, but he was going to try to stay up as late as he could too. He was tired tonight. And I appreciate that he is, but we're going to move that up by an hour to 6 o'clock starting next week. So we'll make sure that we get that announcement out and you guys are paying attention. It's a little bit of a shift, but better now than later because it's going to only grow, I have a feeling, right?
That's right. I'm excited. That way we can get some more people roped in here before it gets too late for them. And with the new really dialed down format of what we're going to be giving for the information. We're going to be running through things quicker so that way you can get that alpha. And especially, like we know, Tank loves to drop the alpha. And I feel like doing this show with you this long, I've just stopped even using the mute button. I'm along for the ride now. So it's a lot of fun.
All right. So let's dive into this because we're already almost 30 minutes in.
I know.
I've got a jacket on. I got to take this off because I'm telling you, I am getting warm right now just thinking about everything we got to talk about. I'm so freaking stoked.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about some basics. All right. I'm going to go over this quick, you guys. And I know a lot of you have been here forever and you bear with me as I do this. I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. But for anybody in the room that's just trying to figure out why the hell is there over 300 people in this space and what are they talking about in here that so many people are interested in, it's all about the Bulls and Apes project. That's what this is. This is a space to talk about Bulls and Apes, which, of course, I think is amazing, but more specifically, our tokenomics and gamification and how we're playing the game. Our tokenization and our gamification of the Bulls and Apes project is so unique that 40 episodes ago, we felt that we need to start a space to be able to help explain it and go over it to help educate our holders. Because if we want our holders to be engaged and play the game, we've got to give them the information. And a lot of people don't want to just read it. They want to talk to somebody. They want to hear somebody. And I love to talk. So I guess it was a match made in heaven. So let's dive in. Basics of BP tokenomics. Our OG bulls generate 10 methane tokens per day for doing nothing. We don't have to stake in our project. You don't have to hide them away. You just hold them in your wallet. And by holding them in your wallet, you're earning 10 methane tokens per day. Now, through the process of tokenomics, our OG bulls through this generation of meth, we're also able to mint some really cool free NFTs. And I'll talk about briefly what those NFTs are. The first NFTs were God Bulls. There was 500 of them in the collection. They minted out about 2 months ago. They're amazing. But what's really cool is this free NFT that was minted through our tokenomics have a floor price. I think last time I looked at 4.4 ETH. And that's not a false floor. We actually have sales. So that is super cool. And I love that our community is seeing value in that as well. Relating to the teens are also another a free mint, and we've been having that mint going on since the 30th day of our project. It was part of the tokenomics. There is 12,450 of these teens that are being minted, and then we burn some through the gamification. But as of just now, I just looked, we only have 926 left to mint in the collection. So we're getting super close to the end of the minting of the teens, which I think is going to be great timing because that's going to give our community an opportunity to now shift their focus and be thinking about the apes and what the apes are going to bring. So it's going to be super cool. If you're unfamiliar with the apes, we will talk about that tomorrow morning. The teens, we'll talk about that tomorrow morning because there's some strategies around the teens about how to get them with the incubators and a breeding of the OGs. But man, we've got so much to talk about with the apes. I think I want to just leave it there. I do want to mention something too. We talked about the floor price, and I know that we don't focus on floor. The floor is going to do what it's going to do. We provide the value, we provide the gamification, and we let our community decide where the floor is. But we've been so excited about what we're doing in the bear market. We minted our OG bulls at 0.17 to 0.22. Today, I just looked right now, and we're at a 0.82 floor currently. One of the reasons I want to bring that up is because we did touch a 1 ETH floor for a while, and then we had some retraction. And I know that there was some worry in the community a little bit about, oh my gosh, what's going to happen with the second mint? Other communities and people, were commenting about how, oh man, projects that drop other mints, their floors always tank, and their OG holders always suffer because of it. We've designed our tokenomics specifically to help counter that. I'm going to make some announcements here in a bit that are hopefully going to also shed some light on why we did that. But I'm really happy to see that, yes, we're going to have fluctuation. We're happy, so happy that people take profits. That is part of this game. And we know people are all going to play the game that they want to. So the fact that people are able to take profits and sell shows the strength of our project because they are able to do that. And I think that really says something in this bear market. So all of that being said, the fact that our floor is returning back, is moving back positively, even with our apes being minted, I think really shows something about what our team has put together and specifically what our community has helped to build. And I'm really, really, really proud of that. So I wanted to give a big shout out to our overall community that you guys are sticking with us, even when you were wondering, what's going to happen when the apes come out. How's that going to affect valuations? Because I know you guys look at that. I'm hoping that you guys are seeing that the things that we've planned, the way that we've strategized how to do our project, we're doing our best to counteract any of that and still provide that value, like we've said, to our OG holders, the ones that believed in us from the very beginning. So that's my soapbox a little bit. Her Crypto, anything you want to bring into the basics before we jump into the apes?
Yeah, no, I think you pretty much touched on all of it. And like you said, it is, we are definitely not into we don't focus on the floor, definitely not into cell shaming. We understand, we love it. And one of the great things is a lot of the things that people have been able to do is sell their other NFTs that they've been able to mint with the methane token through the gamification for the liquidity. Also, we know that with our tokenomics, it did gear toward being a multiple asset holder. So as the floor rose, you took profits. And what I feel like we've seen a lot is that profit is being reinfused into our ecosystem, which is great. We're being able to play the game, do how you want. We talk about what's great about the tokenomics, and with the apes, it's going to be even more so of a customizable gameplay for just the way you want to collect, the way you want to be involved in the community. So, some people aren't big into selling and they've been holding, and then some people finally figured out, like me, how to actually take a little profit, get some new utilities, and get some new breeds and do some things. But like you said, we're going to dive into the breeding, the teens, and the strategies tomorrow during our Welcome Wednesday new space. Let's roll into the ape stuff, right?
Yeah, let's do the ape stuff. So it's funny. I'm watching some DMs in the background, and just a big shout out. So we're going to be talking about the allow list here in a bit. We're going to go through the apes dynamic PFP, but for anybody that is on our alpha list, so we have an email list. We're really big about collecting emails because we want to be able to provide information to our OG holders or anybody that wants to sign up to get this information. About, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, we dropped all of the information I'm about ready to go through. And I see crazy DMs going on right now talking about the allow list structure and how we're going to do it. So I'm super excited to see the reactions, specifically in this one group, because I know this group and they're listening. They're the ones that probably the hardest on me sometimes, and I appreciate them for it. But I always tell them that if you don't have full context, just wait and see what's happening. So, hopefully they're seeing that, and I'm excited to go over it. But I think first thing we need to talk about is let's jump into the ape dynamic PFP. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm going to use the word dynamic a lot over the next few months because everything related to the apes is dynamic. It's absolutely dynamic. And the first thing about being dynamic is the PFP itself, the actual NFT. So for those of you that are new, we're going to really dive into this ape thing. And I want to talk about the dynamic PFP. What does it mean to be dynamic? What it means to be dynamic is that the ape itself can be changed. All of its traits can be changed. You can interchange those traits. You can take the traits on and off. So as we looked at PFPs, we understood that, hey, we buy an NFT, we wait for reveal, we open it up, we get stoked about what we got. But sometimes we look at it and go, shit, man, did I really get that? Okay, I'll be happy with it. But man, I really wish I could change this or I wish I could change that. Well, guess what? What we're doing now is all about being able to change your NFT, your PFP. If you want to change something, you will now have that power to change it. You, as a holder, are going to be able to impact the overall tokenomics. And as you change these NFTs, everything about the project is going to be dynamic, and that's what I'm really excited about. I cannot wait till we start really diving into how the dynamic PFP is going to work, and we're going to cover some of that here really quick. But let's talk about the facts about the apes. So we minted these apes just last week Thursday, 5,000 of them in our pre-sale. They are a ape mint pass. You'll be able to exchange that mint pass for an ape when we get really, really close to our mint. There's going to be time for you to go in and swap those out. 5,000 of them in less than 34 minutes. What's crazy about this is when we had our meetings, we were hoping, what, our goal is to sell 1,500. That was really truly our goal. But we set up 5,000 as a cushion to make sure that, it didn't get run away. We had to be careful of bots. There's other, potential things that could happen. And we wanted to make sure that we held back a certain quantity for our holders. And we're going to talk about how that's going to work with the allow list. So we set this buffer total at 5,000. 1,500 was our goal. We sold 1,500 NFTs in 75 seconds. 75 seconds, 1,500 of them went. When that happened and we saw the activity going, we just let it ride for a while, and we were watching it. We watched it to 2,000. We watched it to 2,500. We watched it to 3,000. Every 500, we were watching it. The team got in like, holy crud, we need to get the team in there because we wanted to be able to hold as well. So we were able to get in and get a few. And we approached and got to that 5,000 threshold within 34 minutes, and we let it go. That response that we got was absolutely crazy, and we were floored and super excited. So with that, we need to build on it, right? And that's what we're doing here. So moving on to the next stages of our allow list and talking about how dynamic this is going to be absolutely amazing as we move into the project. So the dynamic PFP. Now, this is something I mentioned on another space, and I don't know if everybody caught it, but within our PFP, we have 17 changeable traits. That's different things that can be changed on the ape. 17. That's not 17 different things that you're going to get to exchange it. That's 17 individual things that you can outfit your ape with. So I want you to let that sink in for a bit. We're not just allowing you to change out 2 or 3 traits like a hat or a shirt. We're allowing you guys and setting this up so you can change everything about your ape. You want to change the fur color. You want to change it into a skin. You want to put a hat on. You want to change the eye colors. You want to change the expression on the face. You want to add an earring in the ear. You want to change the hair. You want to add an armband around an arm. You want to add a hat. You want to put a shirt on. You want to have an accessory like a skateboard or a surfboard. All of these things that we're going to have in our PFP is 17 exchangeable traits. That's exchangeable, on and off traits. Now, when you do these trade outs, there's 3 things that you always have to have on your ape, even though you can change them out at all times. That's a fur or skin color or type. That is a eye color or eye type and a facial expression. Those are constants. So that would be considered a naked, right? If you only had a type of fur or skin and you had a facial expression or you had an eye color, that would be what's considered our naked apes. That has to always be in your ape, but those are exchangeable. We have 3 traits that are immutable, that are always going to follow your ape. And these are the 3 traits. First is a gender. We have 5,000 female, we have 5,000 male apes. That will not change. That's going to stay constant. We have a guild. Our project is divided into guilds, north, south, east, and west. And through the gamification of our bulls, guilds have a major impact. So be prepared that guilds are probably going to matter in the future. I'm not going to make any announcements on it right now, but that's always going to be a factor in our project. Now, the next one is super important, and I want to explain why this is important. The next one is what we're going to call a BAP designation number. Now, what's a BAP designation number? All right, so while we're working through the dynamic PFP in our project, every time that you change a trait, you're going to have to commit this to the blockchain. So you're going to actually recreate a new NFT. So you take these traits, you outfit your ape, you commit to the blockchain, it becomes an NFT. Well, every time you do that, the PFP number is going to change. It's going to happen. It has to happen every time you do this to secure those traits, make that NFT, your new NFT, your new PFP. That's what you're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a designation number. So when you first mint your very first ape, the apes are revealed. They're going to have a trait. I mean, a PFP number, an NFT number, just like we do now. A point, a 156 or a 9,580, whatever that is. We will create a BAP designation number within the traits themselves that will match that number. So we'll always be able to track where that ape started and how many iterations it had. If you mint yourself an ape and you are stoked that you got ape 888, I know a lot of people get connected to their mint numbers, right? I do. I've got a few that I look for specifically sometimes when I'm looking at them. Now you'll always be able to have that number follow you and follow your NFT as you're playing the game. So that's the 3 things. We're going to have gender that's going to be constant. We're going to have guild, and we're going to have a BAP designation number. Other than that, everything else can be changed, and that's the dynamic part of this collection. So, I'm going to stop there real quick, Her Crypto, but I've got a lot more to talk about. Is there anything you want to put in or questions or anything we want to Anybody have any questions you've been seeing popping in anywhere that pertain to this?
No, I mean, absolutely. I just was thinking through, we've talked about the dynamic PFPs. I'm super excited. I can't wait to be able to outfit and make it my own real personal PFP, how I would like to, have it look and be. And it's all going to be, I'm not just going to have it forever either. I can change it as many times as I want. So super excited about that. Like you said, I just have I know our email went out, so there's a lot going on in the background. A lot of people. I think we're really ready to get to these allow list tiers because we can
Yeah.
definitely circle back and talk more apes. We've got a lot of people requesting to come up on stage, so I'm going to probably start bringing people up if that's cool with you, Tank.
Yeah, bring them up. What I want to do is there's going to be a lot of questions about allow list, so I want you guys to hold the questions about that until we get through it, because that's a big part. And then we're going to get into the tokenomics, the ape multiplier is going to be a lot of questions. So if you guys want to come up on stage, great. But if you're going to ask questions about allow list or ape multipliers, let me get through this and the loot boxes, because we're going to cover that, and then we'll give you more detail. But I want to talk about three other things before we talk about the allow list tiers. So in our project, and I talked about this during our mint last week, I've separated for strategy purposes our ape collection into what I'm calling three avatars. What are the types of people that are going to want to partake in our gamification and the tokenomics of the apes, right? Of the Bulls and Apes project. So I'm looking at this in three ways. The first is the collector. And I kind of put myself in the collector standpoint because I'm a diehard diamond hander. I've only sold 2 NFTs in my entire life that I've been collecting for well over a year now. So I'm a diamond hander. I consider myself that collector. So people are going to collect the apes. They're going to collect the traits. They may keep all of these traits, which, by the way, the traits are separate NFTs, you guys. The apes are going to be NFTs, but the traits are NFTs. They're sellable, tradable, all of that. They're going to have their own separate collection. It's going to be called the Apes Traits Collection. So you're going to see all these cool traits. You're going to see different skins. You're going to see different clothes. You're going to see all of that. So it's going to be super cool that these are tradable traits. So maybe in your wallet, you've got all these traits of different things that you don't want to sell because you like to outfit your ape however you want. That's probably going to be me. I'm going to be a collector. Then we have the art director. So like I said at the very beginning, sometimes we mint a project and we look at it and go, man, it's okay. But if I had my way, it would look like this, or I would do this. That's kind of the art director, right? You want to direct how the art's going to be designed. Well, that's going to be your opportunity now. So you're going to be the art director. You're going to be now putting together collections on an NFT. Maybe your goal is to build the perfect ape the way you think it should be built. And now you're going to sell that ape. You're going to put that ape up for availability for somebody because you think it's the best. That's absolutely that's an option, right? So you've got an ape with multiple traits on it. That's going to be fun in the gamification when we start to think about value. Is the value of the ape itself, or the sum of all parts, right? How do you do that, and how does that work? So I'm super excited about being the art director and being able to do that. And then you've got the trait dealer. Just like I said before, you're going to be collecting all these traits, and maybe your goal is to pick certain ones that you want, and then you're going to put those traits up for sale on secondary. So that's what your process is, and then bringing that back in and putting it into the gamification. So I'm super excited for that. That's the way I'm looking at the three avatars. And as we start getting into the gamification, we'll be really dialing into each of those avatars, the collector, the art director, and the trait dealer, and then how strategy can work with each one of those. So, okay, I'm going to get a drink of
yeah.
And before we jump into allow listeners,
Grab your drink of water. I need to get one too. Apparently, hold on.
awesome.
Did you give me your frog in your throat? You didn't know it, but it was transferable through Twitter Spaces, guys. So yeah, grab your drink of water, take a breath. We're gonna retweet the room because this is the big news with the allow list. Yes, it did go out on our alpha alert. So if you're not signed up for it, you could have had that alert around 25 minutes after the hour. We're gonna get that pinned up here in the nest, so you can go ahead and sign up for that because it is the first place to get all the information. Our alpha alerts is where we send the first announcement. So the allow list did go out. I know there's a lot of questions. A couple people did drop down. Sorry if you didn't get brought up on stage right away. We were just trying to get through some information, but I'm going to start bringing some people up now. We are going to run through the allow list tiers. We know there's going to be a lot of questions, a lot of information. But overall, super excited. Like you said, I mean, the collector, the designer, or you call it the art director. I call it a designer because in my mind, I think about being like super trendy and like being a trendsetter and like being able to like interior decorate, but for PFPs or something. And then, like you're talking about the value. Is it the total value overall that with the whole ape? You could literally create your own brand with these apes and then start selling your apes that you've designed with your special touch. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just really cool, all the different options and ways that you can do things with these apes that are coming. So,
Yep.
allow
So,
list.
all right. So let's jump into allow list because I know everybody wants to know how this is going to work. So I want to reiterate that we had 5,000 remaining apes in our collection. That's how many apes we have remaining that we're going to put up for public. Now, out of that 5,000 remaining apes, we are going to hold back 1,500 of the apes for marketing and team. So the team, because everybody's been working their butts off, are going to get some apes. That happens in every project. So we have team apes, and then we want to have enough apes that we can utilize for marketing because we think it's super important that we have apes that we can get into spaces and give away. So marketing is going to be a big part of that. So out of that, we're going to net 3,500 that are going to be part of the next mint. That's 3,500 apes. Now, we're making an announcement today that there's only 2 apes allowed per mint. So that's it, two apes. And it's important because we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to participate in the apes, right? With this dynamic PFP, I know that everybody thinks, oh man, I want a whole bunch of apes because I want to collect a whole bunch of different traits. Keep this in mind. You're not collecting apes for traits. The traits are going to come with the dynamic with the gamification of the apes. You're going to create those traits through the gamification I'm going to explain about here in a bit with tokenomics. So your apes are the ability to outfit, the ability to multiply meth generation, and the ability to open these loot boxes that we talked about. It's your gateway to then get to the traits and be able to outfit your apes. So if somebody was thinking, man, I wanted to have a whole bunch of these, I get it. There's some of us that want to have a lot, and we made that opportunity available last week. That's why we did a pre-sale and put no limit. If you guys came in, one of the things we talked about was that we didn't put a limit on it. It was 50 apes per wallet. And if somebody had multiple wallets, they could mint up to 50 apes per wallet. We did that to give people, specifically our whales that want an opportunity to buy big, that opportunity to do that. That was the time to get in so we could get that set aside because we needed to make sure we took care of our smaller holders, right? That our smaller holders didn't get pushed out. So that's where we're at right now. So 2 mints per wallet for every tier that I'm going to explain. I'm going to go through these. There's 6 tiers. It seems like a lot, but there's a reason for each one, and I'll explain each one. Tier number 1. Okay, so tier number 1 is probably one of our most important tiers. This is a tier where we're going to take care of our OG holders. So if you're an OG holder, and I heard it a lot in DMs, man, you guys made this announcement so soon. I didn't have a chance to go pick up my ETH. I couldn't get my ETH pulled together, and I missed out. Well, this is your opportunity. The OG holders, we took a snapshot on 12/29. So on December 29th, before we made the official announcement of the 8 pre-mint, we snapshotted all of our OG holders. So we have that list of wallets. All of those wallets will qualify automatically on tier 1 allow list, and they will get to mint at 0.22, which is the same price that we minted at for our pre-sale. So everybody that has a wallet at the 12/29 mark of our snapshot will automatically be on the allow list. We will have on our website, let's say you bought an OG bull right around that time. You're like, man, did I get it in time? We will have a place on our website for you to go on our website and verify whether your wallet is qualified for that allow list. So that's super important. So now people are going, okay, well, I didn't have that, and I want to really get into this, and I missed it. So how's my next opportunity? That's tier number 2. So tier number 2, we have a little bit of bump in price. It goes up to a 0.27, and this tier is available for anybody that bought an OG bull up to February 5th. So if you want to make sure, well, I don't want to say make sure, if you want to better your position in hoping to get into this mint, getting on tier 2 would be your next best step. So if you think about how many holders we have, everybody can do the rough math, right? You can look at our holder count. How many of those holders are truly active? You start doing the calculations of 2 each. Even if you do 2 for every single holder we have, you can see that we're going to make it to tier 2. It's going to happen, right? So knowing that, your best position in order to get into the apes would be to acquire an OG bull. So if you bought an OG bull since then, or you're thinking, man, I really want to get one of these apes. If you get an OG bull between now and February 5th, noon CST, that will get you onto tier 2, and that's when tier 2 starts at a 0.27. Tier 3, and by the way, I know this is a lot of information. We will have this published on our website, and we will make this post on Twitter as well. So this information will be out there. All right, so tier number 3. Tier number 3 is at a 0.30. This is now open to anybody that acquires the rest of our collection. And if you've been in our project, you understand that we have the teens, we have the gods, we also have bulls on the block, which is a collection that we just acquired about 50 days ago. They are now part of our family, right? That's the BOTB OG bulls, the Evo bulls, and the BOTB bears. All of those, if we make it to tier 3, are going to qualify for that allow list. So as you're thinking about positioning and you have one of those assets, you could buy into that asset as well, get on that tier 3. If we make it to tier 3, then that will open up for that list of those people that hold those assets. Got 3 more to go. Tier 4. Tier 4 is all of our tokenized communities. So any community that's already been tokenized all the way up to February 5th, noon CST, will qualify. Their wallets will automatically qualify on tokenized communities. So if you're holding one of those projects that we've talked about, the Funky Flies, Bubblegum Kids, Lazy Lions, and you want to just hang out on tier 4, wait to see if we get there. Then you're going to be able to be opened up. Now, we did have a traditional allow list that we've had people sign up for emails. That was at a tier 5. We get to tier 5, you all are going to be able to be on that tier 5, and that's the allow list, and that's at a 0.33. So tokenized communities and allow list are 0.33. Now, you may ask me, well, gosh, Gary, that only gives me tier 5. What does that mean? Well, that means you're at least on the allow list. However, if you want to better your position, we all talk about strategy. That's what that tankonomics is all about, right? Strategy. You can start to strategize and think about how far is 3,500 mints going to go. So if you think that we'll make it to tier 4, then go find one of our tokenized communities and pick up one of their NFTs and get yourself elevated to tier 4. If you think that maybe we're only going to make it to tier 3, then you got an opportunity to pick up a teen or one of our BOTB NFTs. That gets you up to tier 3. If you really want to make sure that you're in the best position to get the ape, then that would be acquiring the OG bull, and then that would get you right up to tier 2. And that's the way we're going to do it. So we're going to take care of our OG holders because we've said from the very beginning, it's been the biggest question, will our OG holders be able to ensure that they get the opportunity to mint? We're guaranteeing that with this structure. And then if anybody wants to jump in with an OG, that's going to get you on tier 2.
Woo.
All right. Any questions on that? We can ask some questions about that, you guys. I'm going to jump into tokenomics and multipliers here in a second, but let's at least clear out some questions related to the allow list.
Yeah, I just want to run through this really quick just to reiterate. And I know it's a lot of information. We've got a few different announcements, emails. There's a Discord announcement in there, but I verbally just want to run through so you guys understand exactly what this means. Sorry, what this means for each community. And Tank, just like make sure that way if I'm going to run through it and if I mess something up, you're able to correct it because I've talked to a few people and we've been all going through a couple of things. So I had a couple messages with a couple questions and I cleared it up. I'm pretty confident, like 95% confident. So just let me know. All right.
Let's go.
So speaking of the OG holders, everyone going into 8 Mint, yes, like what are you going to do for the OG holders? OG holders, that snapshot guaranteed. Not only are you on the allow list, you're going to get to mint an ape. You're also minting at the pre-mint 0.22 price. Boom.
0.2 price. Yep, guarantees you to get in at the same price as our pre-sale list.
Perfect. Then if you buy an OG bull before February 5th, you're going to get the 0.27 tier 2.
Correct. 0.27. That's if you acquired an OG after 12/29 all the way up to February 5th. If you fall in that window, let's say you just bought an OG bull in the last couple of weeks, well, you guys don't need to buy another OG bull, or I say last 11 days, because you're already going to be on tier 2 by getting it after 12/29.
Perfect. Tier 3 is any current or new buyer of BAP teen or BOTB asset, including all 3 collections.
That is correct. And that may be where you're maybe getting some information in the background, but that is current or new up to February 5th.
Correct. So that's anyone before. So just if you held before 1229, a BOTB, a teen, you're going to be on tier 3.
Correct.
Boom. Okay, perfect. And then we go tokenized communities, allow list, and public. Okay, great.
You got it.
And we got some
Did I
people.
answer
All
your
right,
question?
we got some people on stage too. Let's Laugh was the first person I think that came up. Do you have a question for our allow list? Let's Laugh. How's it going? Hello, let's
Ye-
laugh.
Yes, no, maybe so.
We can laugh. All right, we're gonna roll on. We got Eddie Turner. Eddie Turner, what's your question?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. What's going on, man?
All right, quick question about tier 3. So I've been getting into your project through the Flight Club, through Cuff and Dip and Omar and them. So 2 weeks ago, I jumped in and bought a Teen Bull. Would that qualify for tier 3? Because you said if you
Yep.
buy now into February 5th.
Well, if you've held a teen forever, all the way up to February 5th. So even if you bought it prior, or if you were a holder, let's say you bought it 5 months ago, you're still on tier 3 list. So yes, you are on the tier 3 list.
And if I buy one of the utilities, does that qualify for tier 4, or where it's
No,
the
no, utilities don't qualify. It's the teens, the
okay?
bulls on the block, OG bulls, the Evo bulls, or the bulls, the bears on the block, bears. All four of those qualify for tier 3.
Okay, thank you, because I'm kind of new to it, so I'm just trying to get all the info I can. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
You can take me down if you want.
Thanks, Eddie.
Appreciate that.
No, yeah, thank you so much for being so kind. Because yes, sometimes you do tend to run out of space here on stage. Next we had Jelly. Jelly, you came up on stage. Vamp, I see your hand up, but Jelly was here first. We're just gonna see what their question is.
Hey, how's it going? My question was, so are the apes considered part of the Genesis, like the OG bulls, and kind of will follow the same structure with teens and morphing and that kind of thing?
It's so much more than that. I mean, already what I've explained is the dynamic PFP, right? So we're doing something completely different, which is like what I said. If you own an ape, you're going to be able to mint, and I'm going to talk about this in a second. You're going to be able to mint through our gamification all of these cool traits. So you'll be able to open a loot box, and with your methane token that you're earning, be able to mint a skin, be able to mint maybe an accessory, maybe able to mint an eye color, maybe able to mint an expression. Those are all separate NFTs that you'll pull into your wallet, just like we did with the merger orbs or the incubators, right? That's what we did. We minted those with methane, so you'll be able to do that same. But with these, you then put them onto your ape. You outfit your ape the way you want it, or you sell them on secondary because they're an NFT. So it becomes an additional asset that you're earning through the gamification.
Okay, cool. But you're not going to label it as Genesis, correct?
No, no. Our OG bulls are always going to be our Genesis. That's always going to have access. And this is a good point, right? So some people have said, well, inner circle, I've gotten that. You guys have this inner circle because our inner circle provides some really cool utility. One of the things that we do is VC deals. And VC deals is access to like investments in OpenSea or SpaceX. We just brought those two deals to our community. That's access is still via our OG bulls. Our OG bulls are always going to be our primary collection, and they're always going to see and have the most benefit in any NFT that we create.
Awesome. Thanks for the clear answers.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, next up, we got Vampel D. Vampeel? Is it Vampeel D? Vampeel. What's up?
Yeah, yeah, it's Van Peel. They're also known as dumb peels, but that's beside the point. And shout out to Tater Town. You know, I'm seeing you guys are getting we getting meth now. Is that what we collecting meth on these crypto streets? Hey, but I got a question. So are you gonna create like a way that the bulls can also go in and customize their traits to where we can take part in what the apes are doing?
No,
Because like
no,
I
no. Yeah,
was just
yeah, because it's a whole different contract, right? I mean, they were designed the way they were. This, what we're doing. So I know there's other projects out there that are doing similar things. I just saw one that was announced a month ago that's doing a dynamic PFP where you can switch traits out. Nobody's doing it on the level we're doing it. and nobody's done it with a 3D that I know of. And so the things that we're doing, I've said this many times through all of the spaces we've had over the last few months, that we've had to create tech that's very specific to what we're doing because it has never been done at this level. It's so unique. So our development, we started working on apes 7 months ago. This has not been, the last couple of months we've been working on it. As soon as we minted out our bulls, we started working on the design and tech for the apes, the art of the apes, what they were going to do, how it was going to work, and had to work through that process. So you can't really go back to a smart contract and change a smart contract. It doesn't work that way. So what we're doing is completely unique. And we're hoping groundbreaking. Other people are going to see this. Yes, there's other projects out there, some amazing projects that I know of personally that are doing some form of dynamic PFP. But what we're doing is a whole different level.
Okay, and one follow up question with that is because I kind of pay attention to like details. I like to watch the stories, and so I watched the lore for the Bulls and Apes, and in there appears to be some kind of like a love story going on between a bull and an ape. So I'm just wondering if they're going to be able to later on have an adaptable, offspring. Is that a potential? Is that something we could look at, like a teen bull, but like I don't know, a bunkie? I don't know, man. Just
That is an amazing observation. And I will just tell you, always expect the unexpected from the Bulls and Apes project. Hopefully that answers your question. I know it may not be the answer you wanted, but never underestimate what we're going to do. So
Oh my
always
gosh.
cool.
Ava and that doctor are really stirring up the drama around here. Let me tell you what.
that was a beautiful answer, brother. You're leaving the whole storyline open and just very shortened. Like it is what it is. This is crypto. We're gonna see what happens. Thank you for the time, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hey, and before I leave, I just want to give a shout out to the Funky Flies. What's popping, bro?
Love it. I
There
love
you go.
everybody sharing the love, saying hi to all the friends. This is exactly what when we did this. This is what we wanted. It's like everyone gets to hang out. We're all friends. We're all hanging out. It's so great. So, next question. We got Nikki Teed. Hey, Nikki, what's up?
Hey,
What's going on,
hey,
Nikki?
our crypto. Hey, Tank. How's it going? Happy New Year.
Very good. You too, brother.
One question I had of it and I saw it as well in the Discord. In terms of the snapshot for holders, what if you don't want to use that wallet for minting?
That's a great question because we've talked about that. So we'll be making some announcements because I didn't talk about it today, but we have this amazing tool called Safe Claim. So we're working out the details with that to make sure that we can provide a means to do that. So stay tuned. We will take care of our OG holders, and if you're worried about that, we will work that out for you guys.
Sweet. Yeah, I know Safe Claim works for meth. I've had a bit of an upset,
Yeah,
so you kind of know what's going on, but just want to make sure everything's safe for minting.
yeah, I feel for you, brother, and I'm so sorry, but yeah, we're gonna make some announcements on that, so stay tuned.
All right, cheers. Thanks, guys.
All right, brother. Thanks, man. So, her crypto. Do we have? If we don't have any more pressing questions, let's jump into some tokenomics. We can always circle back on the allow list, but I know that I'm already getting DMs about, hey, what's going on with the tokenomics and how does this work? So let's dive in. All right. Now, I'm going to preface this. I'm going to provide some information, but trust me, guys, this is not everything. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we have so much stuff to go in, and it's much deeper and entailed than the outline I'm going to give you. But I'm going to give you a basic outline to answer some pressing questions that most of our community hardcore gamers, the people who've been playing the game, have had. And then next week will be a much more in depth because we won't have to talk about the allow list as much. So that's going to free up a lot of time for us to really dive into the tokenomics. But let's talk about how this is going to work. So, first question, big question: the multiplier. How is that going to work? What are the specifics? All right, this is the way the multiplier is going to work. And like I said, I'm going to have more to talk about next week, but this is the basic outline. So, the ape multiplier. If you hold an ape in your wallet, you will be able to assign that ape to one bull, guild not specific, and that bull will generate twice the amount of methane. So that bull, OG bull, is going to go from 10 methane to 20 methane. All right, so I'm watching a chat here. I'm laughing because this has been talked about already. And a lot of speculation. But I want to make a clarification because I just said something very specific. From 10 methane to 20 methane. So the question is, well, what about my zero breed bulls? Because we've got these bulls that generate 15 methane, right? And the reason we did that was because you know what, their work was done. Um, a bull had 3 breeds in it, and that breeding was part of generating teens. So once you got through with those 3 breeds, people were like, well, this bull is a zero breed bull. What's it going to do now? What's the benefit? Well, we said, you know what, that bull's done its work. We're going to give it some extra energy and it's going to go out and generate 15 methane tokens per day. Yay. It can't generate breeds anymore, but it's going to get to generate methane. Well, guess what? These bulls are out there generating methane. Well, they got 15. That's a benefit. If they want to come play with the apes and have and hang out with the apes, they got to get back in the game and start playing again. So how do they get back in the game? Well, they get back in the game by not being zero breed bulls anymore. Well, how do they not be zero breed bulls anymore? Great question. They replenish themselves. So you have a choice. If you've got a zero breed bull and it's making 15 and you've just bought yourself an ape and you want to get that 20 methane per day, that extra 5 over the zero breed, you replenish it. And now you're going to generate that 20 methane per day. You're going to be able to pair that bull up with your OG bull. So there's decisions and gamification here, strategy, right? How many apes do I have? How many bulls do I have? If I've got 10 bulls and I'm only picking up 2 apes, well, then maybe it's only important to have 2 of my bulls replenished so they get the benefit of 20 generation. And then those zero breed bulls are going to be able to continue to generate their 15 methane per day, right? So this is going to be a fun strategy of deciding how and what bulls you pair up and whether they're zero breed or they still have some breedings left. So, you know, some of those people are like, man, I've got these bulls that have 1 breed left and I can't get rid of it because I don't have another pair. Don't worry. If you're getting yourself an ape, he's in perfect shape. As long as he's got a breed in there and he's a 10 generator, he's going to now generate 20 methane per day. So really, really cool. That's the basics of the multiplier. So 1 for 1, 20 methane. Zero breed bulls do not generate any multiplier, but if you rebreed it, if you replenish the breeds in it, it's going to jump up to that 20. A little bit of a gamification. So before I jump into loot boxes, let's talk about that a little bit and see if we have any questions on it.
And
Silence.
I think everyone's on their calculators right now, figuring out, okay, so if I have this many zero breed, and then if I now maybe I wonder what that replenishment floor is looking like right now. Maybe everyone's going to buy all the replenishments and get some breeds back on their bulls.
Right. There was a question about God bulls. No, God bulls do not get the multiplier. Stay tuned though. You know, you never know. We've said that the God bulls are going to be super important to this game. I just announced uh, the zero breeds, which means that you need a replenishment. Well, how do you get replenishments? Because that could be a question in the audience. If I go on the floor and I pick up a bull that's zero breed, what does that mean? Do I not get a multiplier? Well, you'd have to find yourself a replenishment. The God bulls create the replenishments. So that's where our supply replenishments are going to come from, is the God bulls. So they have some impact on the game. But we'll make some more announcements on the God bulls in the coming weeks. So just stay tuned with that, you guys. I told you, this is not all. We got a deep dive to do. So it's going to be fun. But all right. So question.
So, kind of just real quick back on the allow list, our God bulls, I know they're in our OG collection, and so I consider them part of the OG collection, but for the snapshot, are they in tier 1 if you only had a God bull?
If you only had a God bull, that is a great question. Yes, I'm. You know, I'm gonna make a verbal here because the God bulls are unique in our holdings, and they're. I mean, we're talking about very high valued NFT, and you know, Anthony may hate me about this, but guess what? Yes, if you hold a God bull and that's the only NFT you have, and as long as you had him before December 29th, we'll make sure that you are definitely included on allow list number 1. And hey, you know what? If you want, I mean, allow list number 1. And hey, if you are looking to get into our project and you're like, man, I'm going to go for the cream of the crop, and I'm going to pick myself up a God bull instead of an OG. There you go. That'll get you onto allow list number 2. So I appreciate the question, and definitely God bulls are very, very important.
Yes, they are. All right, SEPA. I don't know. Stealth SEPA.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick mic check. Are you guys getting okay?
You got wicked feedback. Wicked feedback.
Is that good now?
It's better.
A little better.
You guys are gonna get me out of my steam shower, huh?
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Sounds good. You got a wet, hairy, naked man here on the mic stepping out of a steam shower. All right, fair enough. Sorry. Yeah, I'm an old OG bull holder, max minter right from the beginning. I've been, love to be part of the ecosystem and the tokenomics and all that. I just had a quick question for you, and I'm kind of throwing it back because I was brought up on the stage a little bit earlier and kind of missed earlier. But my question is there going to be limits on the mint phases? And, would it even be possible that we mint out by, say, phase 5 or phase 4? Is that even a possibility? So I guess, is there limits on here? That's my question.
No limits. So the tiers are going to be everybody that had a bull a pre 1229 gets the first crack at it. But like I said in the very beginning, if you do the math, we've got 1,474 holders. I think I saw. Even if every single one of those people showed up and minted their max, which is 2, we're still not going to reach the 3,500. I mean, we'd be really close, but we're not going to reach the 3,500. Now, is everybody going to show up to do 2? I can't say for sure, but I doubt it. We know that we've got a number of wallets that are diamond handing and have never interacted with the contract as far as partaking in the gamification. They could come out of the woodwork and mint 2 and surprise us. But I would venture to say we're not going to get a 100%. I mean, if we got 100% participation, I think that's got to be some kind of record, right? But I'm not expecting it. So that means that will leave more allocation for tier 2. Tier 2 is going to be anybody that now keep in mind, tier 2 is for anybody that buys. That doesn't mean that people on tier 1 now get a second bite at the apple. Okay, so once you've minted your tier 1, you're now out of the game until we get to public. Okay, so if you mint in tier 1 and you're like, oh man, I'm going to get 2 at each tier as it drops down because I hold a teen and I hold a BOTB and I hold a tokenized community, it doesn't work that way. Once you drop out of that and you got your allocation, you got your bite at the apple, then you're going to move to tier 2. So tier 2 is going to be only the people that have acquired. So that would take some creativity going into the smart contract to see how many wallets actually purchase an OG. If it's only 100 wallets or even maybe 200 wallets that have purchased an OG between 12/29 and February 5th, and you do the calculation of an allocation of 2, and let's say it's 200, that's 400. Even if we had 100% participation with our OGs, and then we move to tier 2 and we get 100% participation with 100 wallets, you could see how we could have a small amount that could then filter down to tier 3. Then game on, right? Because now we're talking about BOTB, new holders. That's a whole different ball game. So I see how we could potentially get to tier 3. Are we going to make it past tier 3? My speculation is no. We may not even make it past tier 2. But if we do make it into tier 3, I doubt very highly that we'll make it past tier 3. But I could be surprised. I could very well be surprised, and we could make it to tier 5. Public, I doubt it. I doubt we'll make it to public by any stretch, but it's possible.
I just had one last comment then here. You kind of see my icon. You'll see a bunch of blue men in this group. I'm not going to shield that project. We're gunning for tokenomics here, but as an OG holder, as a bull holder from the beginning, kind of advocate everybody who's a holder should be looking out to their other projects they're involved in and really bring their best projects outside of the bulls, try and bring them into the tokenomics and kind of show that, going for the tokenomics. It helps everyone from every direction. So the more good projects we get in working on the tokenomics, the better. So.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's important. So I want to bring up something else too, because I think it's important when we're talking about this, these tier structure, because I'm sure people are thinking, automatically people's brains start working about, how could I get myself on tier 2 with an extra wallet, or how is that going to work? So we are going to be implementing a wallet address verification. So, and I didn't mention this earlier on purpose, and I wanted to make sure that I brought it up now as people start thinking about this. But when we verify, we're going to verify purchase on tier 2. So what's going to happen is when we get ready to open up tier 2 and we go through that verification process, the reason why we're saying it's up to February 5th, and we all know that our mint is on February 7th. We have a 48-hour period in there, is because we're going to do a wallet verification. So when we say buy an NFT, we mean that literally, not figuratively. So moving a bull from one of your wallets to a wallet you've never used will not qualify you for tier 2. It's going to have to be a purchase. And one of the things I want to make clear here, because somebody may be thinking, oh, okay, well, I'll just buy this for myself. Okay, yeah, you could do that. I get that. But what's important here is we've talked about the gamification of OG bulls, and Her Crypto mentioned this earlier. That was all about consolidation, about acquiring as many bulls as you want, as you can, because the more bulls you have, the more meth you're going to generate, the more teams you're going to be able to mint. When I announce the next stage, and this is the reason I bring this up, because when I get to the next stage in loot boxes, you're going to understand why having a whole shitload of apes may not be the best play. The goal here is the traits, right? Yes, the apes are absolutely 100% important, but the traits are where the game is, right? That's where the strategy is. And so when we start thinking about how we can mint traits and where the value is going to lie and how that gamification of trading traits and selling traits and all of that's going to play, doesn't it make sense that we expand our holder count, right? So if we have a pool of 1,400 people playing, and of those 1,400, 10 or 20% of them are really the game players, we're not playing in the small pool, right? Wouldn't it be better to have 3,000 holders? So maybe we have 1,000 people that are participating in the gamification. Now we've created this larger pool of gamification and tokenomics where everybody's going to get to then trade and swap and purchase all of these cool traits, right? So we really want to focus on, and that's why we've created the tiers the way that we've done, is to try to spread this allow list out over multiple different aspects of our community. Our OG holders getting preference, then people that want to buy in getting the next preference, and then people that want to acquire our teens and our BOTB collection next preference, and then our tokenized community the next preference, right? So this is all about making sure that everybody can participate. So yes, I'm sure people are going to try to figure out ways to game it. I'm just going to ask, especially our bigger whales and our bigger holders have been here since day one. Think about that strategy as you're really thinking about what this is. If you've gotten your allocation already, you bought into that pre-mint, is there a benefit to trying to pick up that extra 2 more? Or is there a benefit to making sure we bring new holders into our project and giving them an opportunity to acquire that ape NFT, right, to come play the game? So I want to just make sure that you guys are thinking about that as we're doing this. Yes, it's a 1-for-1. So if you're a big holder and you've got a large quantity of apes, you're going to be able to multiply that. That's going to be awesome. And you're going to be able to create a lot of methane and generate. But when you start thinking about that, we're going to start talking about how the tokenomics work and how the gamification works. And I'm going to go over the loot boxes, and there's some dynamic here. Remember, I said the word dynamic again. Hopefully that's going to start making it clear about what these strategies are. Remember, I said I've got 3 avatars. I've got the collector. I've got the art director, and I've got the trait dealer. So it's really important that we really focus around those 3 avatars and how the strategy is going to work. So that being said, anything before I jump now into loot boxes and how the loot boxes are going to work for crypto?
Well, we got a couple more people on stage with some questions. I think we've got Michael on stage with his hand up. So, Michael, what's up? What's your question?
Oh, hey, everybody. This is super exciting. So a couple of clarifying questions on the multiplier. So the ape will only multiply if it's paired with a bull that happens to have at least one breeding left in it, right? So the question that I have here, that's correct, right?
Yes, 100%.
So the question here is as follows. My guess is most of the apes don't have any replenishments in them. If they did, we'd have a lot more teens minting out. So are you going to continue to have replenishment boxes happening for a while? That's the first question. The second question is how many tokens will the apes actually generate on their own?
Apes generate no tokens. So this was really important, making sure that we maintain value with the OG bulls, right? So as we talk through the gamification, and I made this very, very clear months ago, that apes were going to have a symbiotic relationship with the bulls, and it was going to be a multiplying effect. But the apes were never going to generate tokens on their own. You have to pair it with a bull in order to get that generation.
Got it. So for the big question is going to be about replenishments then, right? Because most of the bulls have breeded out teams, is my guess. So you guys are gonna keep those boxes open so people can continue to get replenishments? And when will that happen? When will the actual multiplier happen? The moment that the art is revealed, or just so I can start strategically thinking about that?
Yep. The minute the art is revealed, and as of right now, our plan is to reveal 72 hours after mint out. So if we mint out on the 7th, 72 hours after that, we should be revealing. Now, this is Web3 smart contracts. Anything can change. I want to make sure that I put a disclaimer in there. But just like our OG Bulls, the plan is 72 hours. So 72 hours, game on, right? That's when the game starts. So as an example, I have a very large collection of OG Bulls. My collection is one of the biggest, right? All of my OG Bulls are fully bred out. There's 0 breeds, every single one of them. And I've strategized about that. And yes, I've known about what's happening, what's coming. I have a little bit of an insight. But I have been using my breedings. If you look at my wallet, if my wallet's public, I think I've got 6 breedings in there. And I'm going to continue using them to get my teens. My strategy right now is to mint my teens, right? So I'm going to use my replenishments. I'm going to then use my tokens. I'm going to mint teens because that's my strategy. I know that the apes are going to be there, and I will move on to the apes when I'm ready. And then I will generate with my God boxes replenishments. Thank goodness that replenishments are a higher percentage outcome. So that's a good thing. It was a big complaint for a while there because everybody would get the replenishments and like, man, what am I going to do with these things? And then all of a sudden people are buying them to get the teens. Well, guess what? Even if the teens get minted out, we now have a use case for these cool replenishments. More game, more fun. The gods have got some impact, just like we said. The gods are super important to our project. They're always going to have some advantage to certain things. Our OG bulls are our holders, right? That's our core. Our OG bulls are, but the gods have some power and will be able to change the game and have some impact on the game. We're going to keep that going through our project, just like we set up. So that's what's super exciting about it.
Thank
So,
you.
and I just want to make sure too, because you did also say that we do have to designate what ape will multiply what bull. So
Correct.
just having them in the wallet together, they're not going to automatically start multiplying. You have to actually select them together.
So I want to bring up something because I'm glad you did that. And that was on my list here that I have written and not in here. Let me tell you why that's important. So we announced on Thursday that our apes are going to have a 6-month ETH back guarantee. Okay. That 6-month ETH back guarantee, just like our OG bulls, are going to have some criteria. Number one, once you mint, you're going to be given a very short window to move those apes from your minting wallet into your cold wallet, and we'll make that announcement and how much time you've got to do that. So moving an ape from wallet to wallet will disqualify it from being able to claim your ETH back guarantee. The other disqualification is participating in the tokenomics. Now, participation in tokenomics is everything we're talking about. That goes for multiplying effect on your bulls. So that's why you have to take an action in order to pair it with a bull. And we'll have that on our website. Because what we don't want to do is we don't want to be that project where everything always takes an action and then you come back later and go, oh man, for some reason, because maybe there's a situation you need ETH back guarantee, right? We get it. That happens. And you just realize that because you didn't check the box saying I don't want to, that your ape no longer qualifies. We're not going to play that game. We're going to have you go in and make sure you say where you want that ape to be paired with what bull. Now, does it change anything with the bull? Does not change anything with the bull other than the fact that it multiplies and generates more methane. So there is no change. It doesn't get extra benefit. It's not going to change its quote unquote value because the value is based on its value to you at the moment you have it. If you sell that bull, let's say you take a WETH offer on it, that bull goes into somebody else's wallet. It's going to generate 10 methane per day when it goes into the other wallet. But if you sell it and it's got a bunch of methane in there and you didn't claim it, of course that methane's going to move with it, just like now. And if that happens, then you'll have to take that ape and you'll have to then repair it with another bull in your wallet if you have one. So that next bull then gets generating 20 methane per day. So you have to take the action. Once you take that action, or you take your ape and you open a box. So keep in mind, you don't have to have that ape paired to a bull in order to engage with the loot boxes, which I'm going to explain in a second here. Apes will engage and open a loot box regardless. It does not have to be paired with a bull. Pairing it with a bull is only one aspect of our gamification. So If you're lucky enough to have, let's say, acquired 10 apes and you only have 2 bulls, that's fine. Those 2 bulls will generate your methane for you, but all 10 of those apes are going to qualify for loot box opening. Okay, they will do that, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second. So, but that's part of the utility of the tokenomics. If you do something with that ape, which is pairing it with a bull or opening a loot box, that disqualifies you from your ETH back guarantee. You're partaking in the tokenomics. All right. Cool. Any other questions before I jump
Oh,
into?
yeah,
Yes.
we have like 5 to 6 people on stage, Ting,
Cool.
to run
Yeah,
through.
let's dive into
All right.
questions.
So next up, US.
I got more categories to talk about. Loot boxes, and I didn't make another announcement, but I got something else that is gamification that's super intriguing. So let's get some.
Let's go. All right, USMC vet. I know you were up on stage. We got some hands up, but I also have been bringing people as I see them. So USMC vet question.
Yes. Hi, her crypto, Tech Man. How you guys doing?
Very good.
Hello.
Hello.
So, so I'm just here, like, listening in, trying to, like, figure out my strategy, and you explain about the multiplier. So I'm just contemplating, like, with the apes, because I wanted to mint more, and, but since all my OG bulls has zero breeding, and for the apes, it won't do anything for my bulls. I won't earn any extra math. So, is there any other future utility for holding an ape, just besides it being an NFT? In
Yes.
the collection.
Yep. So I'm gonna tell you this. Yeah, because that's a question, right? If all my OGs are zero breed, what's my option? My option is to go buy a replenishment. That's an option. But maybe you should come hang out with us next Tuesday, because I'm going to have some more information that is going to add more strategy. I can't go over all of it, you guys, today, because I still have more to talk about. We're an hour and a half into the space, and this is a lot to digest, and we're going to start getting this out in documentation. But come hang out with me next Tuesday, and I think I'm going to, I think I'm going to be able to give you guys some more information that's going to make this intriguing and answer that question for you.
I have another strategy idea on that as well, is that if you have a zero breed bull and you have an ape, your zero breed is still making 15 methane token per day. So that's 5 less than the multiplier of the ape, but you're still making that token. So if you have multiple bulls at zero breeds, you're making methane token, you're going to be able to open the loot boxes.
Correct. Right. So, I mean, I look at my wallet right now, and yes, I minted a good grip of apes. Not as many as I wanted, but I did my mint in. But it's definitely not the same quantity as the bulls I have in my wallet. So I'm going to be strategic, and I'm going to leave every one of the bulls that I don't pair up with my ape at 15 breeds, at 15 methane generation, zero breed, because that's the maximum I can get out of that guy. And then I'm going to replenish the ones that I want to pair with my apes and get my maximum 20 out of those guys. So that's all about my being strategic, thinking about my strategies. That's what I'm going to do. So you still have options. Just because the ape is not multiplying your bull, if it's at a zero breed, you're still getting 15 methane per day. And right now we're going to get ready to talk about loot boxes. You're going to be able to use that methane to start opening some loot boxes. So this is going to be cool.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. I'll be listening into your next space. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cool. Thank
you. Have a good night. All right, we're going to try to roll through these questions pretty quick because, like Tank said, we do still have a couple more things to go through. And we are going to be like going over this stuff every Tuesday, definitely deep diving, continuing to go through it. So next up, I think we had Papa Psalms. Papa, what's up?
Hey, good evening. How you doing?
Good.
Very well.
Awesome. Mine's really quick. It's like the first that I'm hearing about this project, and it's very innovative. I really like what you're doing, and like how you're integrating other communities as well. A member of your community has reached out and let us know about the community nomination for tokenization, and I was just wondering, as a member of another community, is there anything that we could do to kind of like increase our chances as a community to be able to participate in the tokenization or through that nomination process? Right now, we're going and doing all the application and filling everything in as a community. But is there anything else other than doing those forms?
Yes, great question. So I'm going to let everybody breathe a little bit about the apes, and let's answer that question, because I'm watching some DMs and they're like, I'm so confused. I get it, guys. People were confused when we talked about the bull gamification, about how all this teens and summoning the God Bull. Everybody was confused. I get it. It's new, but you guys all know this very well. I'm speaking to a specific group that I'm watching right now, and you're going to get this. Trust me. It's difficult, but it's going to be fun, especially those in the room. If you're in here thinking, "Holy crap, how am I going to get all this dialed in?" Trust me, you're going to get it, and it's going to be fun. And we're going to talk about this every Tuesday. So that being said, community tokenization. So we look at a number of factors. Now, not any one factor is determining factor. So we take everything into consideration, but these are just a few, and I'll rattle them off real quick. We look at community engagement. That's important. How engaged is the community? I talked about Taters tonight. Man, Taters blew me up as far as our space is always coming in, representing their PFP, hanging out. So it was super important, and that's something that we look at. We look at floor price. It has to be consideration. And to be completely honest, and I want to put this out there for communities because I know I've been getting a lot of DMs about, hey, tokenize us. And if you're at a 0.00 something, we have to be realistic that we can't tokenize projects that are that small. We want to see engagement and communities. And I'm not saying that you're not engaged. Don't get me wrong. But that has to be consideration because we want to be fair to all the communities that we're tokenizing. And, if you think about that, yes, it would be really cool to have a community that's a token that's only worth $8 because I could go spend a whole lot of money and get a whole bunch and then generate a whole bunch of methane. Well, that's kind of gaming the system. So we have to consider that. So I'm just being honest. That's a consideration. We also look at, how many holders there are, and that's not always a consideration. We just tokenize the Taters, and don't have a big holder count, but they have a super engaged community. So we look at the holder count. We will also look at how thick the floor is. I mean, if you've got something that's fairly low in cost, but its floor is super thin and we can help boost that, and that's a benefit for multiple communities, then we may consider that. That's something we could consider. So we're going to look at that. Am I missing anything here, Crypto? Because I mean, you and I and Anthony talk about this every week. What else do we look at that's in general things that we're considering?
Yeah, you went over community activity. Definitely being active. I was talking about this today. One of the big things is, of course, we want to bring people in that are going to harvest, that are going to participate and be active. And floor price is considered, but there's not one special price being minted out. All those things, number of holders, they're all taken into account, but not one thing is necessarily greater than the other. It's an overall picture. I know it's. I'm kind of glad you asked about this because one of the questions I actually saw was asking about these communities that maybe they don't realize, why are we selecting them? Who are they? Maybe we don't have the founders on stage. Maybe we don't have a very large crossover. Part of this, if we talk about, is also inspiring and sparking an interest in connecting with people in this Web3 space, letting them know other people are here building and innovating as well. And so, yes, we're going to have some projects that maybe you haven't heard about or don't feel like we have necessarily a strong quote unquote tie to, but maybe we want to. Maybe we think it'd be a great opportunity. So we're definitely looking at projects that we feel align, that have good holder count, that are active, and they don't have to necessarily be in our community or be involved with coming into our spaces necessarily all the time. Yes, we do like to see that. We like to reward that, but we also kind of want to like extend an olive branch and let people know that we're here building too. So
Yep. Cool. All right.
Thank you so
So
much. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer that.
yeah, no worries. Thanks for asking. Let's get one more question. I want to jump into some more stuff because I'm sure what I talk about the next two items is going to create even more questions.
more questions. Yep. Slowpoke, I think you were next.
Those questions. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Doing great. One of my questions was already answered in the Discord, but I had one regarding the portal pass. It's stating that the portal pass must be exchanged before the mint is open. A date on that would be awesome, which I'm guessing you're probably not going to give me. So,
yeah,
what happens?
It'll be super close. It'll be super close.
Super close to
yep.
the 7th. You're saying?
Yep.
Okay, so what happens when a pass is not exchanged?
Okay, so we will. So this is an interesting situation because we have to consider, that maybe bots have picked up passes, and so how is somebody that's not paying attention to a collection and they're sitting on these passes, and we need to get to a mint out, right? That's the goal. We've got to make sure we get minted out. So we will be taking precautions to make sure that any unclaimed passes are minted to a wallet, that then if somebody is on vacation or they got sick or something happened, we understand that situation. But we also have to protect the collection. A wallet gets locked and it's never forever used, or like I said, a bot. We will be having to take those things into consideration, but we've got to get to a mint out. So those will be put into a wallet. So we're going to encourage everybody to get in and get their apes exchanged right away. But if we have any stragglers for any reason, those will get minted into a wallet. But then we'll be able to do an exchange with those portal passes in the short future afterwards.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. All right. Let's get another question, one more, and then we're going to move into a couple other items because we're already in an hour.
I know. All right. The man, what's up? What's your question?
Hey, we'll keep it quick, and you may be getting to this or can't answer yet. But basically, I was wondering if, with the trait boxes, everything getting to the rarity of the apes, if it'll make any difference to the multiplier, or if the multiplier set, or that's the question.
Lots of questions. All right, it's time to move on to the next section then. So let's do that real quick. All right, let's talk about loot boxes. Okay, so we made this announcement last week, and we have 3 levels of loot boxes. We have a common loot box, an epic loot box, and a legendary loot box. So common is an ETH-based loot. A meth-based loot box. Epic is a ETH-based, and legendary is an ETH-based. So you're going to ask, well, why do you have these different 3 levels of boxes? Our boxes are going to be based on the rarity of the trait. So not saying that we're not going to have rarity in our common boxes, because rarity can be defined by limited number, right? So we have 2 different ways of looking at rarity. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. So we have a group, everybody probably knows about the alphas. Okay. The alpha group is a t-shirt. And if you look at our collection, it's not ranked very high on rarity. However, our community has decided, you know what? The alphas are rare. So they themselves have created rarity with the alphas. So as an example, we could have something in the common box that has limited number, but our community decides it's rare. So when I'm speaking rarity here, it's more in general terms based on how the overall space views a certain trait. So as an example, a gold body, yes, that's rare. We already know it's rare in our collection. A gold body is probably going to be found in a legendary box. Okay. So that's how we're going to base where you're going to find certain traits, common, epic, or legendary. So let's talk about cost. Cost of a common, starting price. And then starting is important when I say this, because I told you in the very beginning that I'm going to be talking about any of the sorry, got sidetracked there. I saw a message pop up on my screen. Everything that we're going to be talking is dynamic, right? So we've talked about that. Everything is dynamic, and we want to make sure that you guys understand that. So starting prices. The common box, 600 methane is where the starting price is. So 600 methane is going to open a common box. An epic box, 0.10 ETH. 0.10 ETH is going to open an epic box. A legendary box is 0.25. Now, this is dynamic pricing. So our community is going to help to decide where that pricing goes. Supply and demand, right? So that is where dynamic pricing is going to be. So if we get a whole bunch of people that are buying commons because they want to flood us with a bunch of meth, that could push the price around. It's going to be dynamic. We could see that price maybe move up slightly because there's more demand. So this is going to be where community and strategy is going to come into play. People are going to be watching the boxes. Where is the most activity happening? Is this spread out over different continents and time zones? How does that work and come into play with this dynamic pricing? So pricing within our loot boxes is going to be super dynamic. And it's going to flow and change based on the activity of our community, and our community is going to determine where that value and that price is going to be. So I'm going to reiterate again. Common boxes are 600 methane, epic are 0.10, and legendary are 0.25. So that's where we're going to start seeing how those traits are going to be minting. And I'm sure our community is thinking about this, going, okay, if I'm minting a legendary for 0.25 and I get this trait, how does that trait then equate to value in secondary? Well, that's up to our community to decide how they place that value and where that's going to fall, right? Okay, so now we're going to talk about ape rankings because that was your second part of your question. And that is something that's super important with this. So ape rankings, how do ape rankings come into play? And ape rankings are going to have an impact. So the way that they have an impact is how and when you can open a box. Because the first thing somebody's going to ask is they'll be like, well, holy crap, we know that there's some huge whales that have got a boatload of methane and they're just going to come in with their huge bag of apes and they're just going to open, right? Yeah, it's possible. And it could happen from the get-go because don't forget, not only are you going to be able to open these boxes for 600 methane as a starting price, but every ape gets a free box. So every ape is going to get to open a free common box. So if you remember, we said at least 600, and I saw a bunch of comments about why are they saying the value is at least 600 meth? Well, it's because if you don't open that box until maybe a little bit later from the start and we're already into dynamic pricing, that meth could go up a little bit. So its value is going to be higher, right? So ape rankings, how's this going to work? For the first 30 days, is super important. First 30 days, just like our bulls had this grazing period, our apes have an acclimation period, right? So if you watch the lore, our apes get invited into their community, right? Into the apes community, they invite them in, and part of what we talked about is the apes are going to come with their own traits, right? There's going to be warriors, there's going to be nakeds, there's going to be scavengers. They're already outfitted. They're going to come into your wallet, but they're going to start to learn and participate with the bulls, and they're going to start acquiring some of those bull traits, and they're going to try on the clothes and the traits. They're going to start acclimating themselves to the bull's way. Well, that acclimation takes 30 days. Just like our bulls had to graze for 30 days, the apes have to get themselves acclimated for 30 days. So that period of acclimation means that you can only open a box every 7 days. So each ape opens a box every 7 days, and that's it for the first 30 days. Now, during that period of opening a box, and by the way, that opening a box is for the common box, right? So opening a box every 30 days, that's your common box. Opening it every 30 days, so that way you get that free trait, right? That meth trait. Now, if you want to open another box, that's up to you. Those are ETH-based boxes. So let's talk about the common box. So you open every 30 days. Now, maybe during that 30 days, you're thinking, well, shoot, man, I want to do this better than 7 days. This is where ape rankings come in, and this is dynamic again. You have control over how rare you make your ape, how you push that ape up on the rankings based on how you combine your traits. This is dynamic, right? So you're adding on certain traits. And as you start adding certain traits on our tool, Trait Ranks, which we will have in place at that 30-day mark, is going to start to show you where that ape ranking is. So the more traits you start putting on, you start playing with how far can I get that ranking. The highest ranked ape will be able to open this box every 24 hours. And then every ape between the highest ranked ape and the lowest ranked ape is going to be 24 hours to 7 days. And that's going to be where the dynamic opening of the box is going to play. So this is where you start to look at your ape collection and figuring out how you're going to outfit your apes to maybe make it ranked higher. So yes, you're going to maybe outfit it to your feel and how, let's see, I feel today. I want to put on a hat, or I'm going to wear a suit a certain way. But maybe your strategy is, but man, I want to be able to access more boxes sooner. So my strategy is going to turn to maybe making my ape as rare as possible based on ranking. So my highest rank can open my boxes quicker. That's all up to you. Our God Bulls do the same thing, but they're fixed. Based on your ranking of your God Bull is when you can open your box. 15 to 30 days, right? That's when it opens up. Here, we're giving control to our holders. Our holders get to decide how soon they open their boxes by how they outfit their apes and how their ranking is affected. All right, that's it for today, guys. I want to ask.
I don't know if it's just me, but Tank Man, you just rugged for last 30 seconds.
Oh, really? Did I really? I apologize. No. I don't know why I rugged.
I heard you. You're fine.
Oh, okay, good. Cool. So let's answer some questions because we just dropped a whole lot of information, and I know there is a lot of questions. So let's answer some questions, see if we can dive in a little bit here.
Well, on that, I know Hondo Crypto was here for the first round of questions. So did we get your question answered, or do you have a question still, Hondo? Hondo? Maybe he's rugging. Uh-oh. All right, we're gonna move on. Hopefully, you'll come back. I want to say, spring. Oh, Mega Cab. Mega Cab was next. Mega Cab. Can you hear me? Are people? Am I ruggy?
No, I can hear you fine.
Mega Cab, I see your mic going off, but I don't hear any noise. Spring for Life, Spring. Can you please bless us with your voice?
Well, hello, everyone.
There we
Hey,
How are
go.
you
Boom.
doing this beautiful night?
yes,
How's
very
We're
everybody
doing
well.
doing?
good.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just super stoked, super excited about what's coming. I was able to mint me one pass the day of, and then I bought one off the floor so that I would have an extra one in my wallet just in case I couldn't get another one down the road. So, yeah, I'm just waiting patiently.
Cool. I'm glad. Any questions on what I covered?
No, you covered everything pretty much covered everything that I wanted to hear and know. And so I'm just uh, really super excited, looking forward to what's to come.
Very nice. Cool. I'm glad. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited too. I know it sounds confusing, and I have gone over a lot of stuff, but trust me, we're going to be talking about this every week on Tuesdays. We're going to be covering the important parts on Wednesdays, and we're going to keep drilling this until people understand it. We will also, if you go on to our website, bowlsandapesproject.com, there is a tab on our website. Oh, sorry, I'm having to here take a breath. On our website that says holder benefits, and under holder benefits it says tokenomics. There's a whole bunch of written details and graphics in there. Under phase 6, it says inner apes. We're going to add graphics and written details about all of the stuff that we've been talking about. So just have a little bit of patience with us. This will be up before we actually mint out our apes. So if you get confused and you're like one of these visual people that you want to see pictures and that helps, we will absolutely have that available on our website at bowlsandapesproject.com under the holder benefits.
I do have one question: is if you guys have put out the first 100 people that minted yet or not?
Her crypto, can you answer that? We've actually got that.
Yeah, I can answer that. So, that is actually all public on the blockchain. You guys, I do know that there is a CSV out there that's someone created. Because as with everything that we do, it's on the blockchain, it's public information. So you can go on and it was pulled, and you can see we are having during our space tomorrow, which I'm actually going to get that. Thanks, Spring, for asking. I'm going to pin that here in the nest now. We are having our space tomorrow, Welcome Wednesday. It is a new space that we've created. We're going to be going into the more basics on the BAP story, tokenomics, the teens, recapping some apes, recapping some of what we talk about here in tokenomics. But tomorrow will be extra special because we are going to be announcing all the winners from those fast action bonuses and all the other prizes that we did during that space. So we will be doing that tomorrow. Can't wait. I'm going to get that pinned right now.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because on my phone, I wasn't able to open that file. So it's kind of in the dark about whether I heard through Poco that I was like the 100th person, but that's like right on the tail end. So I'm just like super, nervous and curious and just, I know, that's like not a secure spot to be in, but so yeah,
Well, I
but I
think we
also
had
was,
prizes. I was going to say, I think we had prizes up to 250 wallets. So,
oh, okay, cool.
yeah. Yeah.
And
We
you have
got
opportunities at every level, all the way up to 250. So, yeah, you have multiple opportunities. But yeah, check back in. We'll make those announcements, and we'll make sure that all that gets spread out to the wallets that won. It'd be great.
And then one last question. You're going to still be tokenizing more projects, correct? Because I was kind of curious about Bullocks, if you were going to, the billionaires, if you were going to tokenize them or not.
I have gotten a lot of applications from them, and we look at everybody. So I can tell you they've got applications in, and they're on the list to review.
Thank you very much. You guys all have a blessed night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Spring. Have a good night. All right, we got Nikki. Nikki, you're next, and then Hope after Nikki.
All right, so I'm gonna dive into like the rankings of the apes tank. So if you just don't interact with your ape at all, does it mean your ranking will just like go down and down since you're not adding on these other features that are ranked higher in the dynamics of it all?
Yeah, it could. But I'm gonna actually bring up something, and I talked about this. I think I talked about it last week. So let me give you an example. So ranking is going to be based on what's on an ape, not what traits have been minted. Okay, so that's super important, right? So it's not all the traits that are in the trait collection, but it's actually what's outfit on the ape. So let me give you an example. So let's say we have a warrior ape that gets minted, and there's a bunch of warrior apes that have, maybe an outfit, a sword. I don't know. You pick whatever that warrior ape is. And let's say people start stripping that off. But there's one ape out there that's still got that warrior outfit of some combination. That could push that ape up in ranking because it's unique amongst all of the other apes. Now, when we rank in rank tools, and Anthony, our CEO, is the brainchild behind Trait Ranks. He's the one that created this very complex calculation, weighted calculation. So all of these traits will have different weights when they're put in to our collection, and that's all determined ahead of time. So yes, you could have a sword that's not seen anywhere. Just because it's the only one doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make that ape the most high ranked, but it could be an effect on it. And we won't know that until people start putting together these combinations. There'll be pre-programmed weights to those, but as you start combining them, it starts to affect the algorithm of how it gets ranked in the system. That's the dynamic part, right? So we've talked about dynamics from the very beginning. Dynamic as far as what you put on it, but dynamic as far as how the ranking is going to work. So you can imagine that you're ranked number one and you're super happy, and then you wake up the next morning and now you've been bumped down to rank number 3, and you're like, what the hell? What happened? And you start looking, is because people are playing the game and they're strategizing and figuring out how to combine certain things to push themselves up in rank. It's happening with our teen bulls right now. As teen bulls start to get minted, teen bulls that have certain rarity are pushing other teen bulls around in ranking. Most of the time, it's pushing things down. You don't really see a lot going up. But here with apes, you're going to see things move all around because it's going to depend on how people start outfitting their apes.
Yeah, you touched on what I was saying because I was like, because you said there's only going to be certain traits that are minted from like the actual ape, and then everything else is loot box. So I was just wondering if those traits will still have rank. But like you said, when you strip an ape, like then it's like, oh, that warrior, only one or two warrior have those traits left, so that could bump it up or bump it around a little as well.
Yep, 100%.
A sacrificer was just minted, but anyway, Hope, go next.
Oh, really? Holy cow! That's 2 left. Then there's only 2 more left.
Things are heating up. This was crazy. We just shifted from checkers to chess right now in terms of strategy. So I think people are going to be really racking their brains trying to figure this out. So I know we've been going long. So just quickly, I just want to confirm. So for the first 30 days, the apes are in this acclimation period where they'll be able to open up a box every 7 days. Then the ranking takes place after that first 30 days, correct?
Correct, right. So what we're doing is we're giving an opportunity for everybody to play the game.
Right.
You'll see where your ranking is. So we'll have rankings based on what's released. Those will have rankings. But then once we open that spigot, right, that valve, then boom, people are all of a sudden it's going to start switching, right? Because you'll be outfitting already. So the 30 days is not your outfitting. You can start outfitting as soon as you get your very first trait that you mint out of a loot box. You can outfit your ape right away. But that ranking's not going to change, as of yet. Now, I could stand corrected, and we could change things and make that dynamic from very beginning, and that would be fun to watch as well. However, it's still not going to affect your ability to open. So that could be fun strategy. I hadn't thought about that, and I will talk to the team if that's going to be something we can do. But that could be actually really fun. So hold tight on that answer that I just gave you, because I'm kind of talking through this out loud a little bit here. And we'll announce when that ranking will start changing, because that could be important, so you can start outfitting and seeing where you're going to go. And we've got some cool things that we've got planned with that as well, because I'm sure the next question is going to be, well, do you have to then mint that NFT to be able to have it on a ranking? How's that going to work? stay tuned. We've got some really cool dynamic UI UX tools that we're going to have in place with how your. I think what did we call it? Her crypto. We call it the configurator. In our video, if you watched it, we have this ape configurator that actually allows you to move traits around. So stay tuned. That's going to have some really cool utility to it.
And then, so in that first 30 days, is that only common boxes within that 30 days, or the ETH boxes thrown in there as well at that beginning 30?
ETH boxes are yours to open as you want.
Okay. And then my last question, something about the dynamic changing of the pricing with the 600 meth, the 0.1 and the 0.25. Are they all dynamic, or is it just come down to the common boxes that are dynamic in terms of the price changing, or did I hear that wrong?
They're all dynamic. So that's going to be up to the community and their participation and opening of those boxes now are going to create that dynamic pricing. We're not announcing what that algorithm is. We have an algorithm in place that's going to create that dynamic pricing. There are going to be floors and ceilings, but it's all dynamic and it's all based on our community and our community involvement with those boxes. That's where the control comes in, right? Everything is dynamic about this project.
Love it. Nice work. I'm excited to play the game.
Yep, that's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Ooh, thanks so much, Hope. Really excited. Next up, we've got my phone went crazy. NFT 119 or NFT 19 or what's up?
Yo, what's going on? Couple of your top holders got my ears perked up on the project. So congratulations. And I just got a quick question. So I know there's males and females of these apes coming out on mint day or reveal day. So if there's more traits that you can receive and get and with the boxes and the commons and whatnot, what do you have to look forward to? Like, what's going to set them apart from each other on the reveal? Like, will one of them have a gold fur, and will one of them potentially have a basic fur? Or I think that's kind of where my question's headed.
Yeah. So I'm going to take this two different ways. So number one, there will not be anything super rare that's going to be minted in the initial reveal. Okay. So that's all loot box acquired. That's part of the game. But there are some really super cool traits that nobody's ever seen that are going to be released with the apes. Because keep in mind, if you watch our lore, these apes are coming from other worlds, so they're bringing stuff with them. Like you'll see that there was a chainsaw in one of our pictures. I can disclose that. Well, you've never seen a chainsaw with our apes. I mean, with our bulls, right? So the apes are going to be coming in with some traits that have never been seen. That's going to be really cool too, because when people start de-equipping these traits, those traits that came with your apes turn into NFTs. Once you de-equip a trait, it converts into an NFT in your wallet. So right out of the gate, if you want to strip him down to be naked and take traits off of him, those traits are now going to be in your wallet as NFTs. So that's going to be super cool. So that answers the first question. Now you asked a question about males and females, and I don't know if the question was directed at this, but males and females have their own traits. There will be some common traits that will be shared. Of course, they look different because the male and female body is different. So, as an example, let's say we have a policeman in there, a police outfit on a male versus a police outfit on a female is going to look different. But each of those will also have their unique traits specific to their gender as well. So that's going to be fun because we're going to be able to introduce some really cool traits related to females that males aren't going to be able to have. So, and those are going to be available via the loot boxes as well.
No, that answers my question. I was just curious if, on mint day, I could look forward to popping open, a gold, for instance, or, a chrome or, something crazy. But it seems to me like we got to work for those. Does that sound about right?
Correct. Yeah, you're going to have to work for them. That's going to be part of the gamification.
Copy that. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
All right, Charlie, what's up? Charlie's got his hand up, and he's going to wrap up with our last question of the night. Charlie, go ahead.
Whoa, last question of the night. Let's go. First off, shout out Alien Boys. What's up? Second, do teens or our partner communities get any kind of meth boost from the apes?
Okay, I'm sorry. Say that again one more time.
Do the teens or any of the token communities get any kind of meth boost from the apes?
That's a great question. Show up to my space next Tuesday.
Let's
Woo,
go.
that sounds like a little alpha drop to me.
All right. Do you have any questions? Her Crypto, have we answered any questions in Discord? Have you been paying attention?
Oh, yes, I've been answering them. Yes,
Okay.
that's what I've been doing. Been going through all the questions, trying to get to them. As you've been answering, they've been similar in the Discord as they've asked. I've asked a couple, and man, it has been a really great show. A lot of questions, a lot of information shared. Like you said, we're going to be here every Tuesday. We're going to be continuing to dive in to the tokenomics with the apes. We're going to be continuing to release more information as we get closer to that mint day, February 7th. So, definitely make sure to hit that reminder. We've got pinned up in the nest there. I know people are starting to wind down for the evening, but we still got close to 300 people. So go ahead in the nest, click that reminder. Join us tomorrow for our Welcome Wednesday. We're going to recap a couple things. We're also going to go over some new information as far as who PAP is, what we are, and also talk some more about the apes because, of course, I mean, apes are the topic right now as we're leading into. But otherwise, yeah, I think we're all good, Tank.
I know so much information, and I, I always say that I'm in multiple DMs and I'm watching all these DMs, and boy, the conspiracy theories are flying now. I love this part. So, I will tell you guys something, and I want to make this clear that holy cow, has this tokenization been thought out, and we are really thinking ahead. You made a comment, or somebody, was it you or somebody made a comment that, we've gone from playing checkers to playing chess. So, this is really a game of chess, and the tokenization is going to be fun because the strategies are going to play out. So don't always, if you guys are thinking of something, you're like, okay, wait a minute, if this happens or that happens, holy cow, this is terrible. Trust me, you guys, we have thought about just almost every scenario with everything that we're doing has been thought out and thought through. I know that I have been silent in a lot of spaces, and DM groups that I'm in over the last week because we're, on that grind of working through our final things. And you guys know that we always like to make twists and turns in the very end, even when we think we've got things thought out. So, everything that we're going to announce moving forward, and I want to make this super clear, is that it's going to be for the benefit of both the project and our community. We have to look at everything as a whole, right? And so certain things that we've done up to this point have been great. There's a possibility we could be switching things around. We could make changes. I hinted, I think, last week or maybe the week before about patches. And if anybody is a gamer, you understand what a patch is. A patch is because, we look at certain things and we may say, hey, you know what, we've got to do this because it's going to be better for the community. But by doing this, it's going to make it more fun and more intriguing and provide more value. Absolutely 100% we're going to do that if it makes sense. So be prepared. Always come and hang out so you can listen to what we're doing because things can change and they will, right? And games do this and we do this because we see how the games are being played and it's fun to go in and make tweaks along the way. So just be prepared for the unexpected. Come to have fun. Come to find where your true value is in our project. I truly believe everybody that comes to play in our ecosystem is going to find value someplace. It could be value by holding an OG and just being able to be in the inner circle and seeing and being able to participate in VC deals. It could be value with being able to hold an OG and mint a team because we still have a little under 1,000 still left to mint. It could be a value to holding an OG and then getting an ape and having a multiplier and generating more methane. It could be a value to hold an ape and maybe you just come and find methane someplace else. And that's your game and you want to play the game that way and generate your traits that way. The value could be in playing the game and generating traits, just like I said, my 3 avatars, or just being a collector, an art director, or a trait dealer. So I truly believe no matter what your strategy is, that you're going to find something that's going to be fun and engaging. Come hang out in our Discord. Our moderators are probably going crazy right now because a lot of this information I just dropped is new for them as well. So please be patient with them as they're getting brought up to speed on everything related to our tokenomics. It's a lot for them as well, but we will help guide them along and help answer your questions. My DMs are open. They're flying right now. I will try to get as many as we can along the way and answer them. But this is going to be your best place to come get strategy. Don't forget that we're going to do Welcome Wednesdays starting tomorrow. What time is Welcome Wednesdays for crypto? And she's asleep.
No, I'm not asleep. I was on mute. I was on mute. I'm here. You just missed a really great explanation. It was so good when I said it. Okay. Yes, Welcome Wednesday tomorrow. It's at 12 p Central. It is pinned up in the nest. We are super excited. We can't wait to kick off this new fun show because it's definitely going to go through Ape Mint with the community tokenization with the apes. There's a lot of information that we're trying to get out to everyone, and we want to make sure that people are able to get it. We also want to make sure people have a space that's being able to give them the information they need. We don't, like I said, this has been fun. We've been here for 2 hours, and we still have a lot we could tell you, but we do want to be respectful of everyone's time. And so this way you can also point people in the right direction and say, you definitely want to come hang out in all the spaces because you always pick stuff up. But for sure, if you're trying to share things, people are getting involved. Welcome Wednesday is going to be the space to learn about BAP, learn about the apes, learn about the more basic, more detailed strategy around tokenomics and earning the methane token, accruing it through the tokenized communities, through the minting of the teens, and those other things. Big thing for tomorrow, we are kicking off with a bang because we've got the prizes that we gave away. We haven't given away. We have all the prizes from our Ape pre-mint that we did. I want to say it's around 25 prizes in total, not including, I think there's 100 wallets that are going to be able to mint the pass for our very first BAP mega meetup. So, I mean, really, it's probably like 125 winners. Let's just be real. So,
we haven't even talked about our mega meetup. God, we have so much to talk about. Us crazy,
right.
crazy.
That's why, right.
That's
We
already
had
in
to
the
come up with a
works.
new space. Yep, new space.
I know. We got that in the works in the real life meetup. That's happening, and it's already in the planning stages. We'll be announcing that information. That's going to be fun. Oh my gosh, so much to talk about. But hey, we've been over 2 hours. I really appreciate all of your guys' time. I value your time and thank you for coming and hanging out. I know I've gotten comments about, man, this space is too long. Man, we have so much to cram in. I don't know how we could do it any shorter. And we'll try to start paring it down a little bit, but we have to cover this information to make sure you guys understand. Don't forget next week, though, because it gets so late, we are going to move it up an hour. Our new time is going to be 6 p.m. Pacific, because that's where I'm at.
8
but
p.m.
Central, because that's what we say. Everything is by Central time. So 8 p. Central. We're going to move it up an hour, so that way we're not pushing into the wee hours of the morning like we're doing right now for some of you guys on the East Coast or Central. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Her Crypto, anything to close it out? And we're going to take some music out of this thing and go.
Yeah, we are just going to say thank you guys so much. Big shout out to Vanessa hanging out behind the Bulls and Ace project. And big shout out to Kimura hanging out behind the Bulls on the block. She was up here for a while if you saw them on stage. And thank you guys all. Once again, we can't be here without you. We couldn't do it without you. Our community is what we're here for. We're all here building together. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow. Welcome Wednesday. Please click that reminder up there in the nest, and we will see you next time. Love you all. Have a good day, night, morning, wherever you are.
Cool. Let's get the music. Where's it at?
All right. So, man, we heard a bunch of different things, man. And we got man, if you guys are going to the space, man, there's a bunch of different things I kind of want to go over. It's a lot of information to digest, so I get if you don't understand everything that was said. So we'll break it down in a bunch of different ways. I actually think I figured out some alpha also as far as another collection that may or may not be able to be used for like the multiplication, but that's crazy. I don't know if they're gonna tokenize other communities and such. Also, they just threw off my entire swag by coming on an entire hour early, as I did that to avoid that time so that we can get to the market. Now, I don't know if I should come on an hour earlier than this, come on at like 7, then hit it into them, or let them run, then get into the market. I don't know. You guys let me know what you want to suggest. Let me know inside of the space. We got, 6 minutes until we actually get into the space. I moved it back about 15 minutes just because the space was going a little bit long, but it was all alpha. So I appreciate you guys that are still here hanging out, man. It was real, man. You guys get into that Twitter space in about 6 minutes or so, man. I'll be in there chilling, giving out some more alpha and kind of explaining everything to you guys, so you guys got an opportunity to you know what I mean, understand what's going on. So if anybody got any questions, get into the Discord. Other than that, man, you guys keep cuffing that dip, man. You guys already know what I say every single night. And also remember, it's Beyond Crypto, and try to get outside, man, or get into this Twitter space, get some laughs and get some good info, man. I'm out of here.